Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the stream. Hope it's going well. And happy Sunday. Today's my 400th. Today is my 400th stream, which is quite the big milestone. I was originally gonna play like Persona or something, but then I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll do a tier list stream. It's been like 6 months since my previous one. And since it's a big milestone stream, why not do like a tier list of every game I've ever played on a stream? Which, if I counted correctly and didn't miss anything, is 108 different games. If any of you have seen, who are watching, have seen like my anniversary streams, both of my anniversaries I've done something similar where I did like a tier list of the games that I played that year. So this is more of like an all-encompassing everything I've ever played, whether I beat it or dropped it or it's in progress or whatever. But yeah, I thought that would be fun, and then maybe if we have time, which I'm hoping we will, I've always said I wanted to do a Fate tier list of all of the servants, and there do be a lot. But maybe I'll just do an easier version of that tier list, which is the down bad version, instead of, because that eliminates half of them right away. We'll see how it's going. But hello Frost, hello Armando, hello anyone lurking. Hope it's going well. Finally hit a year of membership. Thank you. Thank you for being a full year of... Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because it was... I think your first stream of mine was like the Hololive opening shortly after the convention when I was coming back from COVID, which would have been like early to mid-March? Yeah, early to mid-September of last year. So yeah, it's been a long time. Thank you for a year. All right. I'm gonna jump in and start doing this tier list. And I'm gonna try to not talk about... I'll try and give like my overall opinion. I guess the other thing I was thinking about with this tier list is like, I could rank it based on just how much I like the game. Or I could do more of like an encompassing list, which is when I'm tiering it, it's not just how much I like the game, but also how it was to stream. Like, did I think it was a really fun stream? Was there a lot of people watching? Were they really active? Was there like nobody there? Was it a game I liked a lot but not a lot of people watched? Was the game I wasn't super into but lots of people were watching? Like, all of those cases have happened. So it's kind of interesting. Well, I'll just talk about each one as I go. You can get like the creator, the streamer mindset, or the creator input behind the scenes of how I felt about each of those streams. Thank you for a year of great streams. Ah, you're too kind, Frost. Let's hope it carries into a great card opening next month when the next Hololive set comes out. This tier list also only includes video games. It does not include any streams that aren't gaming. So like anime awards, debut, tier lists, just chatting, card openings, game show watch-alongs. None of those are in here. These are only games. I originally thought about doing only games I beat on stream, not just games I played. But then it would cut out half of them, and it would be kind of short. So I was like, do I really want to cut out half of them? I mean, it would be faster, if anything, but I don't know. Regardless, let's go in. All right. I used my thumbnails for all of them, too. I could have just used a picture of the game, but I was like, no, I'll use my thumbnails. It's kind of... Some of these thumbnails are shit. Like, the thumbnails that I was using for the first, like, 6 months of me streaming, horrible. Sometimes I wish I could just go back. I could, actually. sometimes I feel like just going back and redoing all of them to be more like my modern, quote unquote, modern thumbnails before, you know, when I actually figured out ones I like the look of. My vintage thumbnails 2 years ago, the retro Leo, if you will, not so good. I just threw a shitty, like, oh my god, like this Resident Evil one is horrible, this Rhythm Sprout one is horrible, like, ugh. What was I thinking? It's a little too perfectionist. Yeah, probably. I just can't help myself sometimes. I'm gonna move my model up a little bit. Whenever I switch my models, the like view of it changes, and then I can't figure out how I want to like reorient it. That's probably good. Okay. All the games are in alphabetical order too. Number 1, A Dance of Fire and Ice. Rhythm game, very unique, neat rhythm game. I think I played it in the first year of my streams. I know I tilted kind of hard at certain points doing challenge levels. I think I have shorts of me tilting. But I thought it was a pretty neat rhythm game. It was... I wouldn't say it's like one of my personal top tier rhythm games. That's more of like the Guitar Hero, Rock Band, DJ Max, like that level. But I would say it's a pretty fun. It's different. And when you play a lot of rhythm games, just having something different and unique is definitely nice. I like that game. Have you beaten it? I think they keep updating it periodically with new like worlds, but I haven't gone back to check them. I want to say I've streamed it 3 times. Overall, I enjoyed it. I would probably put it in like, oops, that's not it. I would probably put it in like B tier. I remember when I was starting to stream, because this was one of my earlier games I played. I think it was one of the first games that I had like more than 3 or 4 people watching. And I was like, holy shit, I hit the big times. I'm basically like HoloLive level. I got 5 people watching. This is crazy. Which put things into perspective, because you know, you learn a lot over time. Marine Edits, hello, welcome to the stream. Don't think I finished it, but I remember having a lot of fun with it. It is fun, for sure. At some point, I should just rank all the rhythm games I've played, because there's probably like close to 15 to 20. Yeah, that was fun. After Image. This is a roguelike, or not roguelike, sorry. This is a Metroidvania. Really pretty art style, which I really liked. It was also the first Metroidvania I ever tried to play. Actually, no, sorry. The first Metroidvania I ever played was Metroid Prime on the GameCube, which I didn't finish. The first one I tried to seriously play, like as an adult, was After Image. Really pretty art style. I thought the combat in it was kind of fun. That being said, I'm not really a fan of all of the backtracking, which I know is like quintessential to Metroidvanias. So I never ended up playing. I only played it one time. I soft dropped it. I didn't go back to it. If I were to try a Metroidvania again, I wouldn't be opposed to giving it another run. But it wasn't like, definitely not a top tier game. I mean, I think if you like Metroidvanias, it's probably pretty fun. I think you can get it pretty cheaply too. Like, I want to say I've seen it on CD keys or something for under $2. I recommend Rift to the Death. Dancer got my butt kicked but still had fun with it. I've heard a lot of good things about that. Actually, didn't Nivi play that recently? I assume that's just on Steam. I should probably add that to my watch list. Rift of the Dancer. $14, not too bad. Overwhelmingly positive reviews. Oh, it's 30% off for another 5 days. Okay. Oh, there's already a bunch of song DLCs? What? They have they have Bibbidi Bubba. They got Ahoy. Carbonated Love. They have Hololive DLC in this? That's awesome. I'm definitely gonna get this. Guitar Hero style rhythm with a twist. I like that. I'll have to find a slot for this in my schedule real soon. Oh, they gave away Reflect from Gura for free after she graduated? Oh man. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. If you don't like backtracking, it might not be your genre. Probably, yeah. Seems to me like Souls-like games, Metroidvania games, fighting games. Those are like my big three of these are kind of popular and I don't really like them. Which I think is very upsetting to Cashew because I think he likes all three of those. But what can you do? Hololive kicked my butt. Oh, they're harder. I would put Afterimage in C. I would recommend it for people who like Metroidvanias, though. Two of those are my favorite genres. Fighting and, which of the other two? Between Souls and Metroidvania? Because I know you've liked both kinds of those games. I don't know which one would be your favorite. I know fighting is. Or am I getting mixed up with Judson? No, you like fighting a lot. Souls, okay. Yeah, my relationship with Souls games has not been fortuitous. I also really like Metroidvanias as well. Okay. I apologize for what I just said then, committing such a transgression against you. Heard Metroidvania and my attention has been grabbed. I apologize to you in advance as well, Yonosuke, because I was saying I don't particularly like Metroidvania. But Frost does, so you're in good company. Also, hello. Welcome to the stream. Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Classic horror game. Those are two very different messages that just came in at the same time. I'll never try to force my opinions. That's how I am. Disliked, unsubscribed. Totally valid. It was nice having you around, Yonosuke. I wish you luck in your VTuber journey, or finding other VTubers to watch journey. It's alright, you got Cashew playing Hollow Knight. Amnesia was cool. I wasn't, like, a massive fan of it, I guess. I didn't dislike it, but I wasn't, like, blown away. I think it was fun to play in the sense of, like, I can see how inspirational the game is to horror games in general. Like, I respect that. But, like, if I were to give it a rating on a 1 to 10 scale of how much I personally liked the game, I'd probably put it at, like, a 6. Like, it had cool moments, but I was never like, wow, this is awesome. So it was more of like, cool, I get to play a classic game and see why people like it so much, and I think it was incredible for its time. For the time it came out, for sure. Because I think it came out in what, like, between 2008 and 2010 or something like that. I'm gonna put Amnesia in C as well, but above Afterimage. I do want to play some of the other Amnesia games though. Like, I've heard The Bunker, the newest one, is really good. So I would definitely like to try that at some point. That was also really early on. I think I played that in like, I don't know, the first 4 or 5 months of me streaming. Got a couple good shorts out of it. Back when I made shorts a lot. Among Us. That was fun. I only played it on stream one time. Fun collab game. I sucked at it. I feel bad for everybody who I got paired with whenever I was killer or imposter, because I'm super scared to actually kill anybody. Like, I have to plot the perfect scenario in a game like Among Us to actually go ahead and do it. So I think I got paired with Oblivion at some point and maybe Nivy at some point. And I'm pretty sure that I got outed as the imposter or just voted off, even though, oh yeah, no. I got voted off even though I didn't do anything. For whatever reason, people got suspicious of me, even though I didn't do anything, and I got voted off. And I hadn't killed anybody. So the whole game was either Nivy or Oblivion had to carry. And I was like, yep, this is why I like being crewmate. I like playing detective and being a good guy and trying to suss out the bad guy. I don't like being the imposter. But it was fun. It's a good collab game. Leads to a lot of funny situations. You have Vintage Cashew in the thumbnail here. Cashew 1.0. I would put Among Us probably at like low B, if I had to say. I think that's the only sequel I've heard is really good. Yeah, same here. I think the second, like the direct sequel, A Machine for Pigs or something, was like okay-ish from what I've heard. And I can't remember what the one after that was called, but I think that was also just considered okay. You gotta hate when you get choice paralysis as a killer. Yeah. And I get choice paralysis on everything in my life. So in a game like that, it is just way worse, way more noticeable. And I'm really not good at lying. So that also doesn't help me as a killer. What can you do? It's still a good time with friends. I would play it again. That would be a fun like community game night too, because it's free. Like anybody can play it for free as long as they have a phone. Astrobot, 10 out of 10 game. I loved that. I had a ton of fun. I platinumed it. I think I basically 100%ed it on stream. I had to do like a couple wrap-up things after. I grew up with PlayStation pretty much. Outside of PS2, I am a big fan of PlayStation and their exclusive games, and especially the big single-player, story-focused ones. So seeing all of the different bots and just how like pure fun the game was. Oh man, I freaking love that game. I've played all of the DLC levels that they've released for free. That's definitely an S tier for me. The streams didn't pop off as much as I maybe had expected them to, because the game was super popular at the time. It was doing really well reviews and commercially. It was like an average stream for me in terms of like engagement and whatnot, but it was fine because I was having a shit ton of fun playing it, outside of a couple challenge levels that I tilted on. But that was a phenomenal game. I would consider it one of my all-time favorites. If you have a PS5, it's a must-play. Bad End Theater. I think I did that as a one-off stream last year. That's one of my favorite thumbnails I've ever made. I thought I did a bang-up job on that thumbnail. The game itself was cool. I like the whole branching arc thing with you make a bunch of choices, you get an ending. Oh, now you have a flowchart. Let's go back to this point in the flowchart and make a different choice and see how the story changes. Okay, so if you make a different choice there, but then you make another choice here, it loops back into the original. But if you make another different choice there, it goes some like. I really like those flowchart kind of things and seeing what changes with different choices. So I was a huge fan of like Virtue's Last Reward on the Vita. This wasn't as good as that. Like it was a neat game. You know, I think it got me to tear up at one point. I liked the ending, but I wasn't ever like, you know, enamored with it, so to speak. Like it was cool. I'm glad I played it. It was a good one-stream game. but I don't really have anything super significant to say about it. The best thing is that it was like my best thumbnail of all time. So I'm gonna probably put that in like high C. Gotta love when you really like your creations. Absolutely, that's like the best feeling you can have as a creator of any kind. I played Stanley Parable probably like 10 to 15 years ago, the original. It's been a long time. I have not played the like deluxe re-release that they had, but I heard good things. I don't know if they added a lot to it or if it's really just like a remaster or what. Hello, Sebi. Welcome to the stream. It's going well. Elatro S++ tier. I remember you being super into that. I only streamed it one time as like a one-off game. But I did like it a lot. I liked it a lot more than I thought. I don't know anything about poker. But I thought it was really fun. I could see that being a good, like, hey, I just need to kill some time and hang out and chat stream. Let's do Balatro again. I've played it a bit more in my own time. Not a ton. I've probably only put like 10 to 15 hours in it total. But it was fun. I'd probably put that, like, in B. B for Balatro. Ultra Deluxe stream would be cool. I wonder if I have it. That's my problem, is I just, like, randomly pick up stuff if it's a good deal or on sale or something. And I'm not sure if I have Ultra Deluxe. I still have the original. I don't have Ultra Deluxe. I will have to add that to my watch list as well. Not a yawn. Can't be yawning 20 minutes into the stream. Bang Dream. Bang Dream was the first gacha I ever played. Fun fact. Still really like the series. I don't play the game anywhere near as much as I used to, because I got super tilted about a couple horrible banners in a row, which basically made me soft drop the game. I still log in every once in a while, like, just to get like the daily login rewards, or like, oh, there's a new banner I really want, I'll throw some stars at it and see if I get them, but I don't play it as seriously as I used to. I enjoyed playing it on stream. There's a lot of great covers, there's a lot of great music, characters are great. It's just a really fun rhythm game in general. I think when I played that, a couple of my friends also downloaded it to play at the same time. I think Cashew might have downloaded it, I think Kiwi might have. So it was fun playing with some other people. I'll probably put that like low B. Bastion. So that's the first Supergiant game. At some point, I had a goal of playing through all of the Supergiant games on stream, because I hear they're all really good. So I did Bastion, I did Transistor, I haven't gotten to Pyre yet. So I'll pick up with that, and then I'll go to Hades at some point. Hades, I hear a ton of amazing things about. I did like Bastion. I think the music was really good. The gameplay was pretty simple for the most part, but it was fun. Art style was amazing. They have really good audio visuals in like all their games from what I've seen. I don't remember being like blown away by the story, but I did like the end of it. This is gonna be a hell of a tier list. I'm gonna try to not have it take the entire stream, because I want to do my FGO down bad tier list too, but I gotta be efficient, because I only have about 2.5-ish hours. Also, hello Cashew, welcome to the stream. Build That Wall is still on my playlist. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Really good music in those games. Yeah, I really want to get to Hades. I hear so many good things about that. I would probably also put Bastion in B. I would probably have it in like lowish B, probably above Bang Dream. Yeah, I would put it around there. Beat Saber. So Beat Saber, one of my all-time favorite rhythm games. That game single-handedly is like the main reason I wanted to get a VR at some point. And it was just as fun as I hoped it would be. It's harder to stream VR games because I can't see chat as easily, so I had to use, like, I installed something that would read my chats to me so I could hear them. But also when I'm playing a rhythm game, having a robot voice read chats to me is kind of distracting. So, you know, when it's a normal rhythm game, like where I'm just playing on my computer, it's fine. I can still glance at the chat between songs and stuff. But when it's in VR, my only choice really was have robot voice read them to me. And that was not ideal for a rhythm game. Very distracting. That being said, it was still fun. And I believe I was playing the PS5 version when it first came out. And I was #1 in the world on multiple songs in that stream. Crab Rave, I remember for sure. I was #1 in the world. I think it was just for PS5. But hey, it was really cool looking at the leaderboard and seeing Leo Lovelace in the #1 spot. So that was a lot of fun. One of my favorite rhythm games. I would put that in B as well. Humble brag. Humble brag without too much humble. Beat Saber plus tiny room equals bodily harm. Yeah, you need a lot of space to play VR. Unfortunately, I don't have as much space after the move, so I can't really do VR stuff like I used to be able to. But that's fine. I mean, there's not a whole lot that comes out for VR that I'm super interested in, so eh. Callisto Protocol. So that was the new game by the guy who used to be like one of the directors for Dead Space. I love Dead Space. I was like, okay, new game from that guy. This seems like a spiritual sequel to Dead Space or spiritual successor. Gonna be great. It was okay. Story wasn't as good as Dead Space. The main character was fine. I guess he actually talked, which was nice because Dead Space main character doesn't do that until the remake. Graphics were really good. The gameplay was fine. I remember the movement felt kind of clunky, which could get annoying at times. I don't know. That game was just like a 6 all around to me. So I would probably put that in C tier. Probably like below Amnesia. The only thing I've been #1 in the world for is the Cashew Cup Circuit Suit Series Diamond Cup and Uma Musume Pretty Derby Global. Hey, that's still something you could humble brag about, though. That's quite the accomplishment. I've heard there were some killers in that cup. So beating the killers to take the #1 spot, that ain't anything to scoff at. Chained Together. That game was chaos. I mean, it was funny. That's one of those things where it's like, sure, I'll play it like as a collab game for the content because it will be funny. We'll hang out. We'll have a good time. I don't think I would ever play it again after that first time. Like, one time was enough. I don't need that kind of toxicity in my life with rage games until the next rage game comes out, and then I play that for content, and then I never touch it again. Chained Together was definitely one of those. I think it was a fun idea. I played that with Team Real, Rel, Ezume, and Allura, and myself. We did not do well. I don't even think we hit the first checkpoint. Halfway through the stream, I think we kind of gave up on that. And we just ended up talking while we were like running around doing nothing in the game. Which is fine. So it was like, the game itself I didn't really like, but the vibes of it and the good time of it for sure was fun. So I would probably put that in like C tier. Yeah, right around there. C for Chained Together. I don't think I've ever been #1 worldwide. I was top 4 in some Assault Android Cactus levels. Assault Android Cactus. Is that like an old mobile game or something? It sounds like something I would see on the App Store, like growing up. Nothing beats the scuff of the real RAF stream. Oh, that's in here. That's probably going to set a record as my lowest ranked stream ever. That's fair. Yeah. You and Nivi played it twice or just once? Chicken Please. So this is a visual novel that I played, I believe, in my first year. I only played it once, and then I soft dropped it. For for multiple reasons. One, it did not do well at all as a stream. I think I had 1 or 2 people watching the whole time. And second, it's a visual novel, so it's just a shit ton of reading. So it was killing my voice when I streamed it. So I thought the game was funny. Like, the dialogue was funny. The whole concept was funny of being... You're in, like, a world inhabited by, you know, talking animals or human-like animals. And you play as a cop who's a chicken or a rooster or whatever. Like, the dialogue was really witty. Like, the references were funny. It's something I think I would play in my own time. But it was not good for, like, a stream game. Came from around 2012. A friend of mine worked on it. Oh, really? What's, was it a mobile game? Or was it a PC thing or what? 2 or 3 times the people loved it. I remember those did really well. I'd highly recommend. It's a fun arcadey twin stick shooter. Okay. Was unfortunately born with the curse of inconsistency. Ain't that the story of my life? I wish it wasn't. But it do be. PC. Okay. I'll have to add that to my list to check out. I'm going to put Chicken Police in D. It do be. Hit it in beta a lot. I mean, if you're friends. That's nice that you were able to help them out with playing the beta and bug testing and all that. Clone Hero. I've only played that once. I still really want to play more of it. Every week that I don't have Sunday plans, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do Clone Hero. And then I end up picking something else. But, you know, that's like Guitar Hero on your computer. Guitar Hero is my favorite rhythm game. Well, Guitar Hero Rock Band. So that's great. I can just download any song that I want that people have made. That's great too. Not great if you want to be monetized because every song gets copyrighted. But really fun to play. Really nice community. I could commission songs to get like maps made for them so I could play it. Like, really, really cool. I had a lot of fun with it. I definitely want to play it more. I would put that in A tier. Hello, Wasabi. Welcome to the stream. Hope it's going well. Congrats on 808 subs. Yatta! Thank you. Yeah, we passed 800 like a week ago. I hadn't said anything, but I was excited about that. I don't think I said anything, at least. We're closer to 1,000. My original goal was 1,000 this year. I don't think I'm going to hit it. Or 1,000 before my 3rd anniversary. I don't think I'm going to hit that. But maybe 900. We'll see. It's been really hard with how inconsistent I've been. This whole year because of, like, being busy preparing for the move, moving, settling in, being gone for 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks for vacation. Like, I've had a very extended period of this year where I could not stream 4 times a week like I like to. And anybody who's familiar with the creator side of YouTube knows, if you are not consistent, you get killed in the algorithm. So that has definitely been hurting me, that I've not streamed as much as I want to. I've not been as consistent as I want to. A lot of weeks, it's like I'm lucky to get 2 streams in when I would like to do 4. I'm hoping now that I'm done with all of the move and the trips and everything, I can get back to 4. Like this week I did 4. So I'm hoping 4 is going to be the standard going forwards. But part of it too is like, you have to also get lucky with what you're playing. Like, I like a lot of niche games. Like, JRPGs are very niche. They're not good for growth. Indie games are generally very niche, not good for work, or not good for growth. But also at the same time, it's like, oh, okay, so play the popular games like Elden Ring and like Hollow Knight and stuff. It's like, okay, true. Those are what's popular and being searched for, but everybody's also doing that. So then you get swarmed, or then you end up in like the ocean of other people doing the exact same thing. And a lot of them probably are bigger and have better reach. So just playing what's popular doesn't really work either. It's really hard. Like people, it's hard to explain, but there's no easy answer to like how to grow consistently. You don't. You just be consistent with your streams or videos and you hope something pops off. Always hesitant to celebrate milestones? Yeah, I get you. Why not? Oh, if that's to answer the 1000 thing, then pretty much what I just said. Luck mostly? Yeah. It all comes down to luck. I think, yeah, me being inconsistent for a few months hurt, and then you just have to get lucky. You take 1 week off and YouTube assumes you died and throws you back to the beginning of the dungeon? Exactly. And that seems to be the story of my life. Like, anytime I start having a good roll going with, like, growth, like, viewers are going up, subs are going up, streams are doing well, something will happen IRL where it's like, I get sick and I can't stream for a week. You know, IRL stuff gets busy with family and I can't, like, I just can't do streams. I don't have the energy. And then I get killed and then I have to start over. I'm like, oh my God, like there's no winning. There's no winning. But it's fun. Like I said, I do it for fun. I still want to see number go up. Everybody does. But like, as long as I'm enjoying the games that I'm playing and people are hanging out and having fun, then that's good enough. Hello, Kevin. Welcome to the stream. Blotcho's in B tier? Yeah. I only played it one time. I've only played it for like 10 to 12 hours. I'm trying to rank these as like a combination of how much did I personally like the game, plus how well does it do as a stream. So it's like a holistic view of the experience. But yeah, like I like Balatro, but it's not something I would play like consistently. It's every once in a while I'd be like, you know, I got an hour, I'll boot up Balatro. Get a shout out from a bigger fish so the smaller fish can become just a little closer to being the bigger fish. Yeah, shout outs are good for sure. Big number good, big number very good. Unless it's your cholesterol. Content warning. So I think I played that once with Zero, Cashew, and Nivi. That was fun. Kind of like a more humorous take on Lethal Company in a way. I think the recording aspect of it, it can be hard to manage the recording compared to Lethal, where it's just like explore and get the materials. So I would say content warning is a little harder, but it leads to, I feel like, more funny moments because of the recording. Like when you get to watch the recording afterwards and it's just like random clips of like, oh, you're walking around, nothing's happening, and then there's a sudden clip of people screaming and running away and something's on fire and there's a dead body and a giant monster. It's like, what the hell happened? Like that thing I thought was awesome. I still have all of the videos that we made in that, like, saved on my desktop. There's some good stuff in there. So it was fun. It was a good time. It does kind of require you to think on your feet from like a comedy perspective, which I'm not that good at. Cashew and Zero were really good about that, from what I remember. I think Nivi and I talked about it afterwards at one point, and we were like, yeah, like it was fun, but both of us have a harder time like doing that kind of quick comedic thinking that the other two did. So I was enjoying stuff that they were doing, and I thought that was really funny, but if it came to me to like, hey, think of something funny in the moment, I'm like, right, guys? Like, what was that? I don't even know what I was trying to say, but that's all I can come up with in the moment. Be funny now. Exactly. Like, that's how it could feel at times, especially if you're the person with the camera. Like, oh, you gotta say something funny or prompt people into doing something funny. I like being a super stereotypical YouTuber in content warning. Role-playing like a stereotypical YouTuber would be funny. Honestly, role-playing would probably be easier than being myself in that game. Hated audio balancing from the streaming side. Proximity voices also being super directional. Yeah. I think proximity is really fun, like in-game, but in streams it can be kind of a pain. cholesterol joke was too real. Thank you. Latro hasn't hit your dopamine centers yet. When it does, you'll be addicted. Oh, I don't doubt it. Panic Leo goes for the Boomhauer humor. What's Boomhauer? Anyway, I would put content warning in C probably. Probably like upper C. It was a good time. But if I think about like other collab games I've played, it probably wouldn't be like the upper echelon. High C, low B, I think feels fine. I might need to split B and C into separate tiers because there's going to be a lot more in those than anything else. Cuphead with Oblivion. I thought the game was fun, but that whole stream was just endless scuff. So we kind of hard dropped it actually at the end of that stream. There was no native online multiplayer, which sucked. So we had to do Steam like remote play together. And then it was like, okay, if I host, he had like a second or two delay on everything, which for a game like Cuphead makes it like impossible to play. And if he hosted, it wouldn't let me use my controller. I had to use keyboard. And Cuphead is not a game that you want to play with your keyboard. So either I sucked playing on keyboard, but there wasn't lag, or he sucked because he had lag in a game that does not let you have lag. So the game itself was fun, but it was just constant scuff the whole time, and I think we were both kind of frustrated with the fact that it wasn't going well from a tech side. So I'm going to put that in the bottom tier, unfortunately. But the game was fun. King of the Hill. Okay, I haven't seen any of King of the Hill, but I've heard of it. Hello, Ambi. Has been a while. Happy first day of fall. Lurk. Do what you gotta do, Wasabi. D4DJ. I'm gonna put that right next to Bang Dream, just right off the bat. Because they're both mobile rhythm games that are fun to play, that have great music, that I think I had 1 or 2 people play with me, just, you know, friends or chat or something. Good music, fun rhythm game, fun characters, good art. I mean, I don't really have much else to say. Dave the Diver. I played that one time, I believe the first year that I streamed. And I liked it, and for whatever reason, I never went back. I don't know. I hear a lot of good things about it. I should probably go back at some point. But, I don't know. I liked it a lot when I played it. I thought it was a lot more fun than I expected. It was chill. It was good vibes. A lot of people were hanging out in the chat and being chatty, which was, again, rare for me early on in streaming. So I did like that. I honestly couldn't tell you why I never went back to it. Maybe it was like one of the games I played before I was going on a break or something. I don't know. Gotta borrow my friend's Switch and Pokemon Sword to play through it myself, liking it a lot. Nice! I like Sword. I played Shield, but I think Sword and Shield gets hated on a lot for some reason. I mean, if I were to rank all the Pokemon games I played, I'd probably have it like towards the bottom of the list, but like, I still liked it. I didn't think it was bad. I don't really get the hate, personally. I mean, it was the first like new Pokemon game on a Switch. They're trying new things. You can definitely see how it laid the groundwork for Scarlet Violet. I don't know. You know, Dave the Diver has Yakuza DLC? I did see that, yeah. Ichiban, I think, is in it. So if I ever play Dave the Diver again, I will definitely get that DLC. I'm going to put Dave in B because I liked it and it was a good time, but I just never kept playing it for whatever reason. So at some point I have to go back. Dead by Daylight. I think I've played this on stream 3 or 4 times. I know I did a collab with, I think, Real minus Rel because she was busy. But then one of Allura's friends played, Rosie. I know I did a collab with Cashew Nivi, Zero, and Scourge. That was fun. And then when the Raft stream went horribly wrong, we switched to DVD and played that for a bit, which was also fun. It's a good time. I'm not super good at it, but I think it's entertaining. I'd probably put it in C. Probably right next to Content Warning. Online people like to complain. I love Sword and Shield. Online people do like to complain. Everybody has very strong opinions and they want to say it. They want to yell it at people. They want to go up to somebody who's enjoying it and be like, oh, you liked that game? I thought it was shit because of A, B, and C. I don't get why you liked it. Cool, didn't ask. Keep it to yourself. Like, that's always how I feel. Like, it's one thing if it's like, oh, I'm talking to my friends, I'm talking to chat, and we're like having a conversation. But like, when it's just randos online, I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, cool, you didn't like it, you're entitled to that opinion. Fine. That's great. Don't come into other people's spaces who like it and just start shitting on it. Whatever. Just online people being online, I guess. Is there an F tier or is D the lowest you're going? I probably will add tiers as I go just to like differentiate things more. For now, I'm keeping it as just the 5, but like B and C I'll probably split at some point, and then I'll probably add an F to move some D stuff down. One of the things I didn't like was the exit. That is a valid concern, or a valid, for sure, problem to have with it. I do think having every game, like, consistently have every Pokemon would probably be... Like, we all see the performance issues that some of the Pokemon games can have on Switch. If they made it so every single Pokemon could be in every game, like... I don't know. There's a lot of Pokemon I don't care about, so like, on one hand, is it annoying that I can't have everything in one game? Yes. On the other hand, is that ever actually realistically going to affect me? I don't think so. So, like, it wasn't like a huge deal to me, but for the big like collectors who want to have like a living dex in every game, or like the battlers who, hey, this is a Pokemon I really like using in a competitive battling team, but now I can't use it in this game because they decided arbitrarily this Pokemon's not going to be in this game. That, I think, would be super frustrating. So I totally get that. Just the fact that it forcibly detracted choices. Yeah, like, that's totally valid. I can see the frustration there. Especially like you said. I know you're into the competitive side and the battling, so when you have certain Pokemon that you can't use for breeding or you can't use for battles, like, that's gotta be annoying. I'm a primate, flinging poo is my nature. Aren't we all, deep down? Too many is a problem at this point. How many are there? I know it's over 1,000. Like limited dexes from a competitive standpoint, you don't get the same dominating meta. That's true too. If the same Pokemon were always allowed to be in every game, then it's like... it's just going to be the same meta all the time. Well, until new Pokemon come in. Can't access my old ones in bank. They shut down the 3DS store, so I can't buy a license. I don't know if that's the case. I think if what I've read is correct, as long as you had downloaded Bank in the past, you can re-download it. And I'm pretty sure they made it free after the store closed. I would have to look into it more, but like, I know for sure, like, if I wanted to transfer my Pokemon from Soul Silver that I played all the way up to Scarlet Violet, I could. Because I have Bank on my 3DS. And that, like, Poke Transfer thing. So I know it still works. But I'm not 100% sure how. I'd have to look up, like, a guide again. That is frustrating, though, because I'm sure I would be really upset if I had a bunch of Pokemon in Bank and then I lost it all. I don't think I've ever actually used it. I just have everything in the game I played. Did they ever try to come up with a lore reason why only certain Pokemon appear in certain games, like maybe certain generations are only native? So every region has native Pokemon that, like, are found there. I'm not sure as to, like, other Pokemon from other regions, though. I've just kind of accepted it as like over time, certain species have made their way here. You know, trainers bring the Pokemon here, and then the Pokemon breed, and then that Pokemon species is now here. And I've never like thought about it too hard. Dead Space remake. The original Dead Space was one of my all-time favorite games on the PS3. I thought the remake was a fantastic remake, for lack of a better word. Visuals were great, sound design was phenomenal, the random scare factor was really cool. I liked that they gave the main protagonist a voice, because he was voiceless in the original, and I don't really like voiceless protagonists, so I was glad that he actually spoke and felt like more of a character in the remake. So the remake solidified Dead Space, the original, and the remake as like one of the best horror action games I've played. I think that game is amazing. I would really like if they would replay or remake Switch 2. If they would remake Dead Space 2. But I think they've said they have no plans of doing it, which is a bummer. But I really liked it. I would put that in like upper B. Deathmark. So that's another visual novel I played. Horror visual novel. I think I dropped it after 2 streams. Kind of similar reasons as Chicken Police, where like it's a visual novel, it's a ton of talking and reading. Really hard on your throat to keep doing that, especially if you stream like back-to-back days and it's the first one. I thought the story was interesting. I thought the art was really good. The whole like vibe of it, I guess, was well done. Part of the reason I dropped it was I heard that the boss you fight or encounter in the 3rd chapter, I did the first 2 chapters, I heard an enemy in the 3rd chapter might run into issues on YouTube. To not go into too many details, I was like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to have to deal with like having a black screen I have to pop up at some point. I'm going to drop it, and if I want to play it at my own time, I play it at my own time. Which I have not done since then, but I'd like to at some point because I did enjoy the 2 chapters I did play. It wasn't great as a stream though. I would say it did better than Chicken Police at least, but I'll put it in a D. D for Deathmark. The problem is that my bank is tied to an email I can't access. That's not going to help either, yeah. I also have an email that, like an email I had from probably like 11 to 15 or something, my OG email, I lost access to and I can't get it again. I've tried, I just can't get back in. I remember I played Neopets on it and I really liked my Neopets account. If I end up getting a Switch to play the new gen stuff, I'll just make a new one. Probably a good idea. If you're feeling confident that you won't be able to get the old stuff back, starting fresh is probably better. Fred Silent Isaac helped it was easy to project myself. True, with the silent ones, it is easier to make it feel like a self-insert. So if you wanted to kind of shape him and his like emotions and reactions and stuff to be more of you, the silent definitely makes it easier. I like the minimal approach they took with the remake, making... Right, yeah, he wasn't like super chatty. Did you at least watch the alternate ending they added to the remake? I don't remember. I know to get the alternate ending, you had to play the game a second time. But I don't remember if I actually watched it. I'll have to watch it later and see if I remember it or not. DJ Max. So DJ Max is one of my all-time favorite rhythm games. I've played it on stream a few times. I always have a lot of fun with it. I think the song selection is fantastic. Gameplay is a lot of fun. A lot of variety. They're always adding new expansions and DLCs, which is really nice. A ton of support. Just a damn good rhythm game to play. I would say of all the rhythm games I've played on stream, it's probably been my favorite. So I'm going to put that in S tier. And I would say anybody who likes rhythm games needs to get it and play it. I know I've told Cashew a couple times, hey, get this game. We could play against each other. Even just casually off stream. That would be cool. But yeah, it's a fun game. Really good rhythm game. But to get the most out of it, you should definitely buy the DLCs because, like, the base game has a lot of good songs and music, but the DLCs have, like... I think the original came out 7 years ago. I played it in college, 2018, 2019, so it's been out for 6 or 7 years. And they've released DLCs, multiple DLCs a year, every year since then, and every DLC has, like, at least 12 to 15 songs. Most of them are, like, 20 to 25. So there's probably, like, 300 DLC songs in those expansions. So if you get it during a summer sale or a winter sale, the DLCs will go on sale a lot of the time for like 80% off at the same time that the game goes 80% off. So you can get a lot of game and a lot of music for not that much. But yeah, great game. I always like playing that. Doom, on the other hand, is going to go in the bottom tier. I played it one time on stream. I dropped it. I was pretty disappointed, like, all around when it came to Doom. Which I feel bad saying because I know it's very popular and a lot of people love it. I was disappointed in literally, like, every aspect of that game. The music, I always hear amazing things about, and I've listened to the soundtrack and I like it. But in the game, in Doom, the music didn't even play all that often. It would play randomly, or it would play part of the song and then stop. And I was like, wow, I want the songs to be playing all the time. What the hell's going on? That's giving me an extra platinum and giving it to me for free. That's awesome. Platinum is really expensive now resale, like $120, $150 or something. So getting it for free is dope. That's a good friend you got there. And I'm excited for you. That's a great game. Mashu never mentions that you like DJ Max. Mashu from Fate? Yeah, one of my top waifus. OG Doom is popular? Yeah, the original and Eternal both, I think, are super popular. Also, hello, Saikensa. Welcome to the stream. Hope it's going well. Zip just wanted to pop in and say hi. Sounds good, Ambi. Thanks for stopping in. Glad to see you again. Hope you have a good rest of your day. But yeah, so the music was like that. Gameplay? So, when I play games, generally speaking, a lot of games that I play, outside of something like a rhythm game or a roguelike or whatever, like, I like a game that has a good story and good characters. So you'll find a lot of my favorite games are story-focused. Usually story-focused single-player games that have a good cast. Or a good couple main characters or something. Doom had, like... From what I played, there was no story that I cared about whatsoever. It was just, you're here and you kill demons. Cool. Doom guy is like, whatever, you're a faceless guy who kills demons. Cool. So I didn't care about the story at all. I didn't care about Doom guy or anything else that was going on. The music didn't play as often as I wanted, and it didn't even play the full songs. And the gameplay made me motion sick. I had to stop stream for like a half hour in the middle of it and just sit and chat because I was so motion sick I couldn't play anymore. And then I had to like wait until it calmed down so I could keep playing. So I honestly like did not like Doom at all. So we're gonna make an F tier, and Doom is going in F tier. Sorry, Doom. That's why you gotta play Heaven Burns Red. The game does have pretty good music. I don't bring it up enough. Oh yeah, I never hear you talk about Heaven Burns Red music. Ever. Doom is a return to the OG formula, which is like, I get that's what it's going for. Objectively, but subjectively as the person playing it, it was not the type of thing that I enjoy. Just horror farming, yeah. With it, I prefer the more horror vibe of Doom 3 as opposed to the straight shooter counterparts. I haven't played any of the other Dooms, but I probably wouldn't since I really didn't like this one. I know I wouldn't play Eternal or the other new one. The old ones I'm sure wouldn't make me motion sick, but I've gone back to play a couple of super old school shooter type stuff too, and I also wasn't super into that, so Sometimes games just aren't for me, and that's fine. Escape Academy. So that is another early game I played. It's basically just a bunch of escape rooms as a video game, which personally, I really like escape rooms. I actually did one in person earlier this week at my work. We had a work event for my department, and we did escape rooms with like groups of 4 to 5 people, and it was really fun. I like escape rooms a lot. I think they're really entertaining to solve, very satisfying. There was one puzzle in the game that I remember really annoyed me, but other than that, I thought it was a lot of fun. It does have co-op as an option, but I played it solo. I would like to play Escape Simulator at some point, which I believe also has co-op. So maybe at some point I'll, if one of my friends wants to do a puzzle game, we can play Escape Simulator, which is like the same kind of thing, but more popular and better from what I've heard. That being said, I would put this one in B. Probably around here. Might Like 3, it's actually got a story and is more of a horror game. Ah. I do like a story. I mean, I'm not much of a horror guy, but I do like a good story. I can deal with horror in games generally. Depends on the game. Certain stuff is too much, but Doom I'm sure would not be too much. Been sitting in my Steam library since like last Halloween. Oh man. That's been sitting in my library for even longer than that, so I feel it. I don't know how you feel about puzzle games, but I mean, I know you play Baba. It has good music, story, characters too. That's true. It has all of those. Also, hello, Jack. Welcome to the stream. Escape the Backrooms. So speaking of kind of horror games, that was my first ever collab. Ezume, Allura, and Rel and I. Team Real, that was the formation. So that was exciting. You know, that was a big milestone for me as a VTuber and a streamer to have the first collab. I thought it was fun. It wasn't too scary. It had a lot of good, like, funny moments. It had scary moments. It had good variety in the levels. It was a little janky. There was, like, some glitches and bugs here and there, but overall, I thought that was a lot of fun. It was a really good collab game. And I would definitely recommend it to other people who want to play, like, a funny horror game with their friends. I actually just saw a couple days ago, they're finally leaving early access and releasing 1.0 like next month. So they're adding some new levels and stuff, and which is cool. Glad for them. I would put that in B, probably like high B. Hear about the main voice actress for Silent Hill F got PTSD from the script and had to get professional. I did not. That's crazy. I am planning on playing that when it comes out next week. I'm just worried that I won't be able to get it day one or even that weekend because, like, so the remake of Trails just came out, right? Came out on Friday. I pre-ordered it like 7 to 8 days before it came out, just online through Best Buy. They shipped it like a day or two before, according to tracking. And as of when I checked this morning, it is still on the opposite side of the country from me. So it's 2 days after release, still nowhere in sight. At this rate, I probably won't get it until like late next week. Which is like kind of annoying. The whole point of pre-ordering is that I'm supposed to get it when it comes out or within a day or something. I've never had an issue with Best Buy before, so I don't know if it's just that I pre-ordered it too late. A week wasn't early enough, so they couldn't send it out early enough. But that was annoying. So I don't have Silent Hill F pre-ordered, and it comes out in 4 days. So now I'm like, well, what the hell do I do? I looked on Amazon, and they can't guarantee release date delivery. I looked at Best Buy, and since they just screwed me, I'm not going to try doing them again. GameStop, I don't think can guarantee release date delivery at this point. I don't have a GameStop close to me anymore because I moved, so that sucks because I can't get like an easy access to pre-orders like I used to. So like, what do I even do? My only choice basically is going to be like start in a radius from my new house and check every store that might carry video games, like Target, Walmart, GameStop. The closest GameStop to me now is like 25 minutes away, which isn't horrible, But I really don't like driving out of my... Like, if I have to drive more than 15 minutes, I get annoyed. So 25 to me is like, oh my god. So I don't know. I know there's a Walmart close to me and a Target closer than GameStop. So I might have to check them on release day and see if they have it or something. Order 1886 has great characters. I heard, what was it? The story and the characters were like decent. Or the characters at least were good. Still in Japan, get it shipped. Oh, you ordered the Japanese version? Putting on to fill the gap. For like a random one-off stream, maybe. It's definitely not going to take long enough to do Kiwami. That's, if a pre-order took me 2 months to get there, I would be infuriated. I would be demanding my money back. I would be raising hell with their customer service. I would be livid. If it takes more than a week maximum, I'm already going to be annoyed. But for Trails, like, that's a niche game. Like, it's not going to be easy to find in stores. Something like Silent Hill, I feel like should be popular enough that I could probably just drive to, like, a Walmart, Target, GameStop, and they should just have it on day one. I don't know. It's really annoying if I can't get things on release day, though. I get very frustrated. Walmart did same-day delivery for me for Monster Hunter Wilds. I'll have to check if they're still offering it for Silent Hill. Gotta try living in the mountains. Takes me 15 minutes to make it to any business. See, at that point, it's like normal for you, though, right? Like, you're just used to it. So I guess it's just part of life. You ordering JP Hollow? Yeah, you have crazy delays with that. I feel for you there. I would be so pissed. But with international shipping too, that's like, that adds so many wrinkles to it. Expedition 33. So this is going to be an interesting one. I loved the game. I think definitely for like the new games that have come out this year, I would say Expedition 33 is my favorite out of the ones I've played. This fall has a lot of new stuff coming out. Maybe it gets dethroned. So the game itself, loved it. Every aspect of it. The story was really good. I really liked the characters. The music was phenomenal. The graphics looked great. The gameplay was fun. I liked the mix of like turn-based and real-time. As a stream, it was disappointing. I always wanted to play it, so I was always planning on streaming it. And then when it blew up, I was like, wow, like it's really popping off. Like, this is going to do really well as a stream. Fun fact, I don't know if I've mentioned it on stream before. I believe out of every like game I've played this year for like my solo streams, Expedition 33 is the worst performing by a significant margin. People did not care about Expedition 33 for the most part. That was like, that did very poorly as a stream game for me. So that is definitely something I would consider on this ranking. As a game, I would put it in like A tier. But because of how bad it did as a stream, I would probably lower it to B. I would put it in upper B because I still loved the game, but it did really bad. Can't get pizzas delivered here, so I have to drop. Oh, you can't even get pizza delivery? That is actually really frustrating. For most fast food, I would go to pick it up, but for pizza delivery, like, I want it to come to me. If you didn't really hit for me, not sure why. That's also totally fair. Like, I never expect people to come. I don't, like, look down on anybody for not coming. Like, if you're not interested in the game, don't feel like you have to watch. If you want to play it for yourself so you don't want to get spoiled, don't watch. Like, I totally understand. But it's interesting to, like, look at from the creator side, I think. Everyone wanted to play it for themselves. Could also be, yeah. I mean, the story is really big for that game, so I totally get, like, you know, if you want to play it for yourself, that's a game where you do not want to get spoiled. 100%. Also, hello, Kirby. Welcome to the stream. Can't speak for anyone else, but the reason I was in and out was because I kind of want to play it for myself. Totally get that. And you should. I would highly recommend it. Fantastic game. I haven't done any of the post-game stuff. I probably won't at this point. But just like the single player, the campaign as it is, amazing, phenomenal. Other person I watch is streaming it, but she's currently on hiatus. Oh, really? Hopefully she picks it up after the hiatus. I think that's what I did. I was in the middle of it before I moved and had to go on my like 2-week hiatus, and then don't playing games right after release perform worse? Probably. I've definitely seen that. Like I said before, Astrobot didn't do as well as I thought it would. Expedition 33 didn't do very well. It could be that like when everybody's playing it, you're in a diluted pool, and at the same time, people who might normally watch it or watch you play it aren't, because they might want to play it for themselves. Like Kevin said right there, like, which again, I totally get. I do the same thing. If one of my friends is playing a game that I want to play at some point, I won't watch it because I don't want to get spoiled. I want to support. I want to give them the view and the watch time and chat engagement, but like, I don't want to get spoiled because that takes away from it a lot for me. So, yeah. What can you do? All right, my goal is to finish this tier list in the next 45 minutes. So I have like an hour to do my Fate Down Bad one. We'll see if I can do it because I still have a lot to go through. Fate Samurai Remnant. So I was stoked for this game because it is a brand new Fate action game. I thought the story was good. I liked that there were multiple routes that it could take with pretty different endings. Good servant choices. Musashi was one of the main characters. Musashi is my, if not my favorite. At the worst case, she's top 3. So I was super glad that she was one of the main characters and that you actually get to play as her at points. My biggest issue with Fate Remnant was I wasn't super into the gameplay. The gameplay was Muso type, which I believe I've said in previous streams. I'm not really into the Muso style of things. Because I feel like at some point I'm just like mindlessly button mashing until I get through the horde of enemies, and then a strong enemy will come through, and then they have like, oh, break gauges where you just have to like, you know, like some of the enemies in Remnant I remember had really obnoxious break gauges where it's like you have to wail on them for a while to break through the break gauge or use special attacks, and then you can hit them normally. But they recharge the break gauge after like 20 seconds, and then you have to repeat that process over and over. And I was like, oh my god. So I liked everything about Remnant pretty much outside of the gameplay. So I would probably put it in B, but probably towards like the lower end. Maybe like around here. Most attractive thing about 33 is the UI and battle system. That was sexy, and the turn-based game seems really fun. Yeah, the UI, there was so much like flair to the design in that game. Visual feast for sure. Visual and auditory feast. Out of curiosity, we may not hit it since it would be at the bottom. Oh, I'm getting through this whole list, no matter what. Yakuza would definitely, at the minimum, be A tier, but probably S. But I'm not going to skip ahead and rank things before I get there. But I will definitely finish this tier list before the stream ends. If I can't do my FGO down bad tier list, I won't. But at the very least, I will finish this one for the milestone. But yeah, Yakuza is going to be high up there for sure. Final Fantasy 16. So that was my first Final Fantasy. I definitely want to play more. For sure, on stream at least, I plan on playing the 7 remake and X or 10. I'm not sure what outside of those I might play. But I did like 16 a lot. It was more action RPG, which I like. I do prefer action RPG to turn-based, generally speaking. So I did like that it, you know, was that style of gameplay. I liked the characters, I liked the story. I did feel like it was a little bloated at points. Granted, I did every single side quest and whatnot. Inevitably, there's fetch quests, or it's like, go to this town, talk to this person and do this thing. Go into the fields and kill these enemies. Come back to the town and talk to this person. Oh, there's other enemies you have to kill in a different field. Go over there and kill them. Come back to the town person. I'm like, oh my god. So some of the side quests could feel a little bloated, but the main story I thought was really good. I liked Clive a lot as a protagonist. I liked the main side characters a lot. And it was just a good like entry point to Final Fantasy, I thought. So overall, I definitely had a good time with it. I would put that... It didn't do super well as a stream, but I also did that like early on. So it had the debuff of being like, I don't want to say niche, but like generally like any kind of RPG, JRPG is a little more niche for streams, doesn't do as well. So it had that debuff, it had the long game debuff, and it had the I started playing it 4 months after I started streaming debuff, where I barely have anybody who knows what I am. So that didn't do super well, but I kind of expected it being so early on. So I'm going to put this in B. I'll probably put it like maybe right before Beat Saber. Another reason I want to play it 33 is to play it in French. I did watch some of the scenes in French after, just out of curiosity, because I know they're from France, and the voice acting in that was really good too. I generally will play games in English if I can. Like Yakuza is an exception. I will always play those in Japanese. But for the most part, if there's an English dub, I probably will play it. Gameplay-wise, I didn't really like Remnant. Felt it was too ambitious. So many good gameplay stuff, but not fully. It did kind of feel like there could have been more. I kind of get what you mean. Big X fan? I hear a lot of good things. Well, I hear X2 is not good, but the original X I hear is very good. Ghost Trick. So I really liked Ghost Trick. It did pretty well as a stream. I think people were pretty into that. Lots of plot twists that were fun, like for me and the chat to find out all together. Fantastic story, super satisfying ending, really lovable characters, except the main detective guy whose name I can't remember, who always does like the dancing twirl around and the white coat. I didn't like him, but I liked pretty much everybody else. Just a really fun game all around. I would definitely put Ghost Trick in A. I'm really glad that I could play that one. I won't stand by X2, but X is a huge part of my childhood. I gotta get on that. Cabanela! That was his name. Yeah, I didn't like him. He had some funny lines, but like for the most part, he was the one character who I was like, ugh, this guy again. Love to see Astrobot S tier for sure. That game was so fun. Also, hello, Nivi. Hope it's going well. How's Control been, by the way? I really want to get on the Alan Wake and Control stuff, but I have to play Alan Wake first, I feel. So it keeps getting kicked down the road. I like the art that you use in the thumbnail, though. Loving it? Nice. That's good to hear. Very little faith in French dubs myself, anime French dubs to be precise. A lot of English dubs can be... They're getting better, though, at least for English dubs. There was a period where they felt kind of lazy, but a lot of the recent dubs I've seen clips of have honestly been pretty good. God of War. So this is going to be another high-ranking one. This had been in my backlog for ages, since before I even started streaming. I've had it for years and years. That was an awesome game all around. I really liked the story. I really liked Kratos's like new feel compared to the old Kratos. I really liked that it was more of like an action RPG as opposed to just like an action button masher. Atreus could definitely annoy me at times, but I feel like that's kind of intentional. The fights and the combat were really fun. Obviously, I had issues with parrying. That was well documented in my streams. I did a lot of dodging and very little parrying, but by the end of the game, I had the hang of the parrying. I beat all of the Valkyries, which was super satisfying. I felt very proud of myself for that. That was just an amazing game all around. And to make it even better, those streams did really well. Tended to have a lot of people watching. People were super interested in those. People were very engaged. So that was like a banger game all around. I had a lot of fun playing it. Chat was really liking it. That's definitely going to be S tier for me. I still need to play Ragnarok. I'm not sure when I'll fit it in because I have so many games in my backlog I want to play. But at some point, I'll get to Ragnarok, and I will stream that. Maybe 33 will be the first game I play in French dub for a long time. I've heard a lot of good things about the dub. Boy needs a spanking. Yeah. Really liked how you threw the axe so much. Never seen anyone play that way. Yeah, especially early on. I threw that thing like crazy. I don't know what compelled me to keep doing it, but it worked pretty well. Valkyrie Queen fight was hype. That return axe hit was clutch. I think the first time I fought the Queen, I'm pretty sure I almost beat it on my first try. Like I got it down to maybe like 10% of the health or something. And I was like, if I beat the Queen on the first try, this is going to be the most hype thing ever. And I ended up not, but I think I did it in like 3 or 4 or something. That was a good fight though. At that point, like I was good about dodging. I was good about parrying. I was getting the attack patterns down. Like I felt real good about that. Very excited for you to check out Ragnarok. I hear so many good things about that too. I mean, I hear Atreus can be a bit of a bitch again, but you know, whatever. It's to be expected at this point. Did you like Ragnarok more than the original? I know I hear a lot of debate about which one is better. Halo. So I just finished that very recently. Collab with Zero. I thought it was fun. I think the gameplay, obviously I suffer a little bit in that I have like a 1 to 2 second delay on all of my inputs, which can make it kind of hard for an FPS, but I adapted. I still had a lot of fun with the gameplay. I've heard it's an amazing game for a really long time, so I'm glad I can finally actually experience it. I would probably give the first game like a 6.5 out of 10. It definitely was fun, but it feels like it's kind of laying the ground for what's to come. And I am liking Halo 2 a lot more than Halo 1 already. And I hear that like 3 and Reach are even better than Halo 2, so I'm very excited to keep playing through the games and seeing it continue to grow and evolve and whatnot. The original Halo, I would probably put in like maybe low B. Maybe like around here. Halo 2, which I was also just talking about, I've been liking more. I think the story's a lot more interesting. I think, you know, they're fleshing out the Arbiter side, which I think is cool. There's just more going on with the gameplay. Like the dual wielding is cool. The energy swords are really cool. The fights feel more fun. There's more enemy variety. So I would definitely put Halo 2 higher up. I would probably put it like, I would say high B for Halo 2 right now. So I would say with this trend, 3 and Reach have a lot of potential. Actually, I would probably put it below Final Fantasy so far. Queen kicked my ass on hard. I would believe it. I played on normal and it was still tough. Like the OG more, but that's because I didn't know what to expect. Second one is still very good. That makes sense. More Halo. Hello, Tim. Welcome to the stream. Halo 2 gave us energy swords. The swords are so fun. Halo 3 custom games were peak random online matchmaking. I heard a lot of good things about the Halo 3 custom games and the Halo Reach like firefight or Forge mode, I think it was. Oh boy, I gotta kick it into overdrive on these. Hatsune Miku rhythm game. I thought my thumbnail was funny with the Miku thing. I'm honestly not a huge Vocaloid music fan. There's a couple songs I really like, but for the most part, the Vocaloid voices can just feel like too, I don't want to say uncanny, but just like too robotic for me to truly like it. So I tend to like covers of Vocaloid more than actual Vocaloid. So out of the rhythm games I've played, it would probably be my lowest ranked. I'm also not a huge fan of like the circular style of the notes flying out. I would probably put it like low C. I'm gonna move After Image down to like high D. And I'll put Miku like down here. Helldivers 2. So I've only streamed it once, but I have played it with Cashew and Zero a couple other times while they streamed it. Tons and tons and tons of fun. I think that game is an absolute blast. Tons of funny moments with us getting blown up out of nowhere, or just like, I don't know. The game just has constant funny moments, constant hype moments, constant clutch moments. Like, it's such an exhilarating experience to play it, I feel. We have a really good squad going, I feel. I think we're all learning and getting better. I haven't been streaming it the last couple times because it did super poorly when I streamed it. So I was like, you know what? If people aren't super interested in checking out the stream side, I still want to keep playing it. So I'll let them stream it, and I'll just take it easy and hang out and watch the chat, and maybe I'll have a drink or something. Like, so it's been a lot more relaxed for me the past couple times because I haven't had to like pay attention to a chat or anything like that. But as a game and an experience, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I would also put that like high B, I would say. When the bots are blowing up our PCs, yeah. Oh, yeah, they do. Disrespecting Vocaloid. Gomenasai. I like the covers at least. I like occasional Miku songs. I like the like metal one I mentioned the other day, Gorgon, I think it was called. Echo 27 did a remix recently to their song Monitoring. I don't think I've seen it. Helltaker. That was one of my first ever streams. I think my like first or second week of streaming, I played Helltaker. It was okay. I don't really have a strong opinion. The character designs are fun. It was super short. It wasn't very hard, which is fine. I don't like hard games. Dialogue was funny. I'll put it in low C. Henry Stickmin collection. So a lot of people had asked me to play that. And I had never played it outside of seeing like 1 or 2 clips. So I beat the whole thing in one sitting. It was longer than I thought it would be. There were definitely funny moments. It definitely had me laughing out loud. But I wouldn't say it was like a game I super enjoyed. Like it was okay at best for most of it. I know people liked the stream. Like I remember when I was doing my tier list at the end of 1 year, some people who made it put it kind of high up. But for me, I was like, I don't know, like it's okay. I guess it really depends how much the humor hits, and it didn't hit constantly for me. It did make me laugh here and there, but like, I don't know. I'm gonna put that one in probably high D. Honestly, Helltaker, I'm gonna drop to D as well. Yeah, it wasn't very hard. I know that there was one level that I did struggle on for sure, that I think I made a short out of, but I also didn't do like the post-game stuff. Like they added a second like set of levels, I think. I didn't play those. I only played the base game. Actually had a hard time with Helltaker. I don't think I caught that stream. Very nostalgic for longtime memers such as myself. That's fair. I think a lot of the memes in it, I just didn't pick up on or recognize. I think there was a JoJo's thing that was pretty funny though. Hex Cells and Hex Cells Plus. I'll do both of these at once. Hex Cells Plus I liked more than Hex Cells because it was basically Hex Cells but better. There were more puzzles, it was more interesting. I just had more fun with the second one. Very good puzzle game. If you like Minesweeper, which I really like, Hex Cells is like Minesweeper but better. It's not unfair in the sense of Minesweeper being randomly generated where it's like, oh, sometimes you get a puzzle where you can't solve it. And you have to make a 50-50 guess. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to guess. And if you guess wrong, too bad, you lose. That doesn't happen in Hex Cells. Every single level is made in a way that it is not possible for you to get in a situation like that. You can always solve the puzzle using the hints you're given. So I really like that aspect of it. I really liked Hex Cells. That's probably my favorite puzzle game that I've like played in general. So I'm gonna put the original Hex Cells probably below Dave, but the second one I'm gonna put like higher up. There is a third Hex Cells that I would also really like to play at some point on stream, but puzzle games tend to not do super well, so we'll see. I had to straight up skip a level in the post game. I spent like 20 minutes and couldn't even grasp a wisp of what I needed to do. Damn, that hard? Maybe I'll have to check it out on my own time at some point. Hi-Fi Rush. So I'm currently in the middle of this one. I should finish it on Wednesday, 3 days from now, 7 p.m. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think the gameplay's fun. I like the characters a lot. I like the character designs a lot. The story is okay. It's not like anything groundbreaking, but it's fun. I think it's definitely carried by the characters in the gameplay. The music has been good. I did have to turn on streamer mode because I got blocked on my first video and I had to edit out the sound. Yeah, it's been fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends. It's hard to rank when I haven't finished the game, but I would probably put it in like mid B at this point. Maybe around like here. Hollow Cure. I have a blast with Hollow Cure. That's still the only like Vampire Survivors kind of game I've played. Obviously, I love HoloLive, so I love all of the HoloLive references. I think it's a lot of fun. Lots of achievements to unlock. Just an absolute blast if you like HoloLive stuff. I don't know that I could put it in A tier, but I could definitely put it in high B. I'm really looking forward to the next update. Gameplay looks super stiff from it. Oh, for Hi-Fi Rush? The movement, honestly, even when I'm playing, like the way the main character moves, it's kind of slow and it does look sluggish. Or stiff. That's a good way to put it. It feels a little better than it looks, but I can absolutely see what you mean. Dracula game? Play Hollow Cure anytime my internet goes out? Yeah. You can play that totally offline. Easy to get a run in. Oh my god. There's still so many. I thought I could finish this. Alright. I want to finish this within a half hour. We can do this. House. Was not a huge fan of that one. It was a neat idea. I liked the concept of being stuck in a time loop where it's like you learn a little bit each loop and you're trying to figure out how can I survive and escape this house where everything is trying to kill me. There was a puzzle that really frustrated me that I couldn't figure out, and I actually had to look it up during the stream to figure out what to do because I, for the life of me, could not understand how to solve that puzzle. I didn't unlock every ending. From what I hear, there's multiple endings, and I got a handful of them. So it was like, okay. I'd probably put it like down here in D. Inscription, on the other hand, I really liked. Very fun card game, very unique. I think it had 4 acts, and each of the acts had like a very distinct feel to it with what you're doing and how the game feels. So I really liked that. It kept things interesting, it kept things fresh. The first one is probably the most memorable, but there was one awesome one that Cashew probably knows because he was in the chat where I was like, holy shit, like with the way that it was incorporating like IRL elements. I thought that was awesome. It was a super fun game. If you like card games, really interesting. Absolutely 100% recommend it to anyone who has any even remote interest in card games. I would put Inscription in A tier. That was a banger. Just Shapes and Beats. Pretty underrated rhythm game, I would say. Very fun in co-op if you have somebody to play it with. It's like a bullet hell rhythm game. Very EDM heavy soundtrack, which I like. I think I beat the whole game in one sitting. I had already beaten it, I think twice before I streamed it. That's one of the few games that I've beat multiple times just because it's so short. So I think I beat it like on Switch, then I played it on PlayStation again and beat it there, and then I got it on PC and beat it there. So it's a fun rhythm game. I would put that in B. Probably like maybe around here. Putting Island is the same guy. I did hear that that was the same guy. I think he has a new game coming out pretty soon too. Ain't no way this is at least an hour. We'll see. I'll try. I don't think I'll be done by 4, but if I could be done by 4:30, you know what? This might just be the only tier list I can do this stream. Because like, if I was gonna do the FGO tier list, even if I just did a down bad version, I wanted to be able to like go through the characters as I was ranking them. So like I could be like, oh, here's Mash. You know, here's the different arts as you level her up and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then you'd have a better look at them as opposed to this just like square thing. But if I have to go through each one, like there's a lot. Like there's 453 servants in the game, characters. Even if you cut it in half, that's still a lot to go through. I don't know that I'm going to have time for it. And I don't want to rush it either. I'm just so talkative, I can't help it. I would level her up. She's great, she's really meta. One of my favorite characters in the game. All right. Killer frequency. So that was also a game I played in one stream. In the first year I streamed, a horror game where you're like the host of a radio show and there's a serial killer on the loose in the town that you're in. So people are calling the radio show trying to like escape from the killer and get advice, and you're trying to save the people over the phone as the killer's hunting them down. And then it's like, oh, you know, what if the killer comes to the radio station? I thought it was a cool idea. I thought some of the dialogue was funny. There wasn't really much in the way of gameplay aside of like walking around the radio station. There were some puzzles to solve, which is like, okay, that's cool. I just remember feeling like very like okay about most of it. Like to me, this is another game where it's like probably just like a 6 all around kind of thing. I did get the shit scared out of me with a jump scare at the very start though. Couldn't get into that one. Cool concept. Did you stream that one or just play it in your own time? I agree though. Cool concept, and I don't know, it felt like it maybe went a little too long. Like it started to drag towards the end. So I'm gonna put killer frequency probably in like high D. Thought everyone liked Cuphead. Generally speaking, it's a very well-regarded game, yes. I ranked it as low, mostly because that whole stream was just constant scuff for me in Oblivion. Like, either one of us, if he hosted, I had scuff, and if I hosted, he had scuff. So we couldn't play the game, really, in a way that was actually fun. One of us was always struggling, and that was definitely frustrating. I think if I just played it by myself solo, I would probably like it more, which I may do at some point, but as a collab game, it didn't really work. You kind of bullet point your reasons for ranking and just slap the titles. True, that could also expedite it. Left 4 Dead 2. So I've played that a handful of times with Kashinivi and Zero. Very, very fun. I think the four of us, it's just a fun group. We've done a bunch of collabs with the four of us. We've played through like all of the Left 4 Dead 2 levels, and I think most of the Left 4 Dead levels as well. The mods were a lot of fun, just seeing the different characters we picked, and, you know, hilarious seeing like Nijika from Bochi and Kurisu from Steins Gate and Captain Toad from Mario, like all running around shooting zombies. Like that was a good time. I've actually seen some really funny Uma Musume mods for it. I've been meaning to look those up. Turns like the leaping grab enemy into Golshi and stupid stuff like that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Probably one of my favorite collabs that I've done in general. Yeah, just a fun group, fun game, all around a good time. I'm gonna put that in high B. Probably right next to Helldivers. Speaking of collabs, Labyrinthians. So that was another collab. That was just a one-off. Azume, you, and Nivi and I. That's like, it was okay. It's like one of those walk-around horror games. Try to evade enemies, solve puzzles. it was okay. I didn't feel super strongly about it. There was a couple good funny moments, but Oblivion was involved. I get it now. I know, he always plays hard to get with you. Scuff galore, yeah. That it was. I'm going to put Labyrinthian probably like... I'll say low C. It was like... It had its moments, but out of all of the collabs I've done, it was probably the most like... I don't know, the game that I was the least into. Needy Streamer Overload, that was one of the first games I ever played. It was my first or second week of streaming. I thought that was fun. I would like to revisit it at some point. I got a couple endings. I don't know, the dialogue was funny, the concept is fun. I know I got fired in one of the endings, and I was very upset that she would fire me. So I don't really have a ton to say about it. I'll probably put it in like C. Maybe like mid-C. That was really fun. It was. Very good time. If he was involved, it should be a B minimum. You know? That's fair, Armando. But what about if Cashew's involved? Is that also a B minimum? Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So that was a staple for me early on. I had a lot of good growth from Master Duel, which I'm very thankful for. I always streamed it Sundays at 2, and that was always my best stream of the week. That was always the one that had the most people watching, very active chat. And I enjoyed it for quite a while, until the meta turned into absolute dog shit and made me so angry that I wanted to punch a hole in my computer. And then I dropped the game, and I haven't played it in almost 2 years. Even though it was really good to me as a streamer early on. Especially early on, it was fun. I liked playing Sky Strikers. I liked playing Trap Tricks when I added that to my roster of decks, or lineup of decks. Starting late summer, the meta started shifting into stuff that I found super obnoxious and just straight up not fun to play against. And it kept getting worse and worse for months straight. And I reached my breaking point, I think October of that year. It was like 3 streams in a row of me not leaving the same rank I was in, because I would win a match, lose a match, win a match, lose 2, win 2, lose 1, win 1, lose 2, win 1, lose 1, win 2, lose 1. Like, it was just that for 3 streams straight. And I was infuriated. I kept losing to the same decks over and over again that were the exact meta that I hated. I was beside myself. But up until then, it was fun. I would put Master Duel, like, probably in B, because I can't deny how good it was for me early on and how much fun I had with it for a long time. But the frustration definitely killed it for me. I really liked it until I hated it. Yeah, pretty much. Of Cashew, don't get me wrong, but when he does co-op, he can be a little selfish. How many times has he left you for dead? Armando, you're being a little too real right now. It has been well documented that Cashew will leave us for the dead. He left us for dead, just like the game title says. You know what, Armando? That's real? Yeah. I can think of multiple levels where he left us. Granted, at least one of them I was telling him to just go because I wanted the level to be done. But it happens. Speaking of co-op games with Cashew and Nivi, Lethal Company. I've had a ton of collabs of that. I think I've collabed with probably like 10 different people on that. Lethal Company was a great time. I think early on, it was like fun to discover it. In the middle, there was definitely some magic of like, everybody kind of understands the different enemies, the different layouts, the different strategy. There was still a bunch of funny stuff that was happening. By the end of the collabs that I was doing with them, it felt a little, for lack of a better word, too tryhardy. Like there was a specific thing that we needed to do or specific meta to play by to keep going. And it kind of made it less spontaneous in a way. I think when Lethal Company is at its best, it's when people don't know what's going to happen and you get yourselves in situations where you're like, how the fuck am I going to get out of here? There's an enemy over there. I have to carry my loot. Like, oh my God, how am I going to have to drop this so I can carry? Like, that was the peak for me. It became formulaic. Yeah, I hate when fun games start getting... That's exactly how it felt to me. So, like, the first half of the streams, like, when I played it with Team Real, the first couple times we had some big, like, collabs with, like, 8 or 9 people. I thought those were a lot of fun. But then it definitely started to get too formulaic for me, and I was like, nah, I'm really not feeling it as much. I have played it a couple times since then, just with, like, my high school and college friends. And it kind of recaptured the magic a little bit to me. Because one of them had never played it before. One of them was a little more experienced than me. I was in the middle. So it was fun, like, having a different, like, group with different levels of experiences who maybe didn't know it as well. But it still wasn't quite the same as, like, the initial rush. Overall, I mean, I still liked Lethal. They were always a good time. I would probably put it in B. Maybe, like, around here. Liked when people put the mask on. The mask moments were funny, yeah. Fall Guys, the first month when everyone was just mashing was good, then people started strategizing. I've only played that once or twice. Mario Kart. So, played that a couple times. One time I did, like, a community night with chat, and then a couple times there were collabs, or maybe it was just once there was a collab. That was fun, except for the amount of lightning. That was infuriating, that my team just kept getting lightnings the entire time, and the other team didn't. But it was pretty fun. I had a good time. That's just a great collab game. You know, Mario Kart's one of those games that, like, I can probably only play for, like, 2 hours before I start getting bored. I really can't play it for that long. But it's fun. It's a good collab game. It's a good time. I would probably put that in B as well. See, I need to split B. We're going to put another column in. We're going to do B+ and B-. Too many games are in this one tier. What about lightning? That sounds like a skill issue. Uh-huh. I'm sure it was. Cuphead and D. Yeah, I put it down there because the game is cool, but that whole stream was just endless scuff, and I think both of us were very frustrated about that. So that definitely goes pretty low. But hey, it's not F tier at least. That's only Doom right now. All right, this feels better. So Mario Kart, I'm probably also going to put B-, but I'll put next to Among Us. Mario Super Sluggers. So that was a childhood game for me. I loved that game growing up. I still thought it was fun as an adult when I played it on stream. It had a fantastic short come out of it. I mean, I love baseball. I'm still waiting for a new Mario baseball game. TikTok, Nintendo. Like, where the hell is a new baseball? You've made multiple new soccers. You've made multiple tennises. You've made some golfs. Where baseball? Me wait. Not patient. Me angry. Nintendo's a coward for not remaking Super Sluggers. I agree. Just call it Ultra Super Sluggers. I'd be fine with that. Even if they don't make a new game, just get it in HD, add a couple new characters or something. I'd be thrilled with that. Your 10 after deadline's not looking so good? No, it isn't. I don't think we're getting FGO down bad tier list. That'll have to be another stream. Would have put it in C just because we mutually agreed to make it a podcast? True. It was fun. Once we kind of gave up on the game and we were just chatting, that was fun. Arcot would probably be a D for Oblivion because I kicked his butt. Oh yeah? I don't know, Armando. You can talk shit all you want there, but I have never played against somebody on Oblivion's level in Mario Kart before. That dude annihilated everybody every single match. Him and Kane. I remember Cashew was still using his training wheels, which I'd be curious to see how he does without the training wheels, but Oblivion is really good at Mario Kart. I'm going to put Sluggers in Sure, Armando. Wish they made Strikers better. Yeah, I got Strikers, and I think I played it for like 2 hours, and then I traded it in. I wasn't into it. New Strikers was really fun, playing the mode where every player controls one team member with my... I could see that being a good time. I mean, I think I'm pretty good. I think you were consistently like in the upper mid for the rankings, yeah. I'm very mid at Mario Kart. Like, I usually don't come in last, but I rarely come top 3 to 4. At least for, like, online. I'm gonna put Mario, like... I'll put it... around here. Mario Bros. Wonder. So, that was the first 2D Mario, or side-scrolling Mario I've played in a while. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really liked my Luigi getup I had for it. I don't know if I have a shortcut for that still. I don't think I do. But I thought it was a lot of fun. They just announced a Switch 2 version of it, so if anybody has not played Wonder and you're into platformers or side-scrollers, I would recommend it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I'm sure with even more content and better performance and graphics, it'll be even better. But I have gotten more into Mario games as I've gotten older, so I would... Oh, I was in the text box. Maybe that's why. No, maybe not. I could have sworn I had a shortcut for it, but... I'll put Wonder in... I'll put that in B+. Master Detective Archives Raincode. So that was the new game from the Danganronpa creator, I believe. And I did like what I played. I think I stopped playing it because I got busy and I couldn't play it for a couple weeks, and then I just started playing some other stuff when I came back. I liked the game, but I remember it did very poorly as a stream again. So it's another one of those instances of like, if it's a long game, but it's really not doing well, unless I'm like enamored with it, I probably will just drop it and play something else. And I'll like play it on my own time or something. I do have the re-release for PS5, which I will definitely play at some point. But I remember on Switch 2, the graphics, like it was very grainy, it was kind of pixelated, like it didn't look amazing, which is how I tend to feel about anything on Switch that isn't a Nintendo game, which is why I don't buy anything third-party on Nintendo consoles. But I mean, it was fun. I'll put it in low C. Melatonin, very unique rhythm game. Pretty short. You can definitely do it in like 2 hours, which I like. Good music, which is important for a rhythm game. I got some pretty good shorts out of it. Not like insanely memorable, but unique. If you could get it on sale, if you like rhythm, I would recommend it. I don't really feel super strongly about it. I'll put it like mid-C. I liked Raincode. I liked what I played. Yeah, definitely don't take the rating that it's in purely as my feelings for the game. It's also influenced by how I felt about streaming it. If it was just how I felt about it as a game, it would be at least in B tier. Devil Survivors Nintendo third party, is it? I thought it was an Atlas thing. Metaphor. Metaphor was amazing. That's one of those games where, like, again, as a stream, didn't do very well. As tends to be the case for JRPGs, especially long JRPGs. So I kind of expected that going in, knowing how Persona 3 Reload went. That being said, Metaphor was phenomenal. Amazing story, tons of twists and turns that I didn't expect. Super satisfying ending. Great characters and like Bond stories and stuff. Amazing music. Really good character designs. The gameplay could frustrate me at times because I am not used to the different style of taking turns that Metaphor had compared to like a Persona. So I definitely tilted at some points. I know there were some challenge fights towards the end against like the dragon super bosses or whatever, or not super bosses, challenge bosses that really pissed me off. But eventually I more or less got the hang of it, and I loved the story. I loved the cast. It was just an amazing game all around. I would put that in A tier. Probably like very high A tier. Metroid Dread. I apologize in advance because I know that there are people in here who like Metroidvania games. I didn't really like Metroid Dread. It did really well as a stream, actually. So if anybody here is a streamer and you're thinking about playing Dread, I had a pretty good turnout for that game. I had a bunch of new people show up who were really into it. I just personally didn't really like the game. Again, I don't like all the backtracking. I don't like feeling stuck because I can't figure out where the hell I'm supposed to go. There was one point in the game that I had completely explored the map, and I was like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. I've gone to every single route I can go. The only places I haven't gone are blocked by a locked door that I don't have a key or like the ability to open yet. So what the hell am I supposed to do? And eventually somebody in chat was like, oh, if you go to this hallway in the top right corner and then you shoot this part of the ceiling, it will break a hole and you can jump into the hole and then go down somewhere new. And I was like, what the fuck is that? How the hell am I supposed to know to shoot a random ceiling to open up a path to go down? That's stupid. Like, now I didn't act like that in the stream, but in my head I was very annoyed. Now, again, I don't play a lot of Metroidvanias. Maybe this is normal. Maybe most Metroidvania players know that you're supposed to shoot walls and ceilings and floors because it might open up a new path. I didn't know that. So that sums up my feelings towards Metroidvania pretty well. I don't like the backtracking. I didn't like how just dumb that felt to me to have to shoot a specific spot to open up a new path. You know, visually it looked good. It played well, but I just didn't really have fun with it, and I don't see myself playing it ever again. I will put that in low D. Have you played any of the Prime Metroids? I played a little bit of the first one on the GameCube. I think I would like that more than the side-scrolling ones, but probably still not that much. You break my heart, but I respect your opinion. Gomennasai. I also respect everybody's opinions on these games. As long as it does not attack me or somebody else's opinion, that is fine. Hitting random walls and ceilings is a common Metroidvania practice. I'm pretty sure the one you're talking about there are bugs going into that block. Oh. Yeah, I might not have seen the bugs. Or just, to me, I was like, oh, environmental. Bugs are crawling in the ceiling. Cool. Atlas game, but exclusive to 3DS. Oh. Favorite is Snowboard Kids 2 on the 64. That game had no right being that good. Do you have a physical copy of that? I feel like you maybe showed like a drawer you had of N64 games. And it might have been in there. Serbi's enjoying Metaphor from what I've seen so far. That's good. I haven't been able to catch a lot of their streams, but I'm glad they're enjoying it. Catch me here every day when P4R drops. Catch me streaming that as soon as it comes out. I can't wait for that. I'd like to say Witcher 3 would be a great stream game, but its length is daunting. I do plan on streaming that at some point. That's high on my list. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the case with a lot of my stream games. There's a lot that are really long that I want to play. Like off the top of my head, Witcher 3, Cyberpunk, Red Dead 2, Final Fantasy, multiple games, the Trails games, Persona 4 is going to be really long. The East games, like a lot of games I want to play are very long, which is too bad because, you know, it's a lot of good game to play, which is good. But long games don't do well on YouTube, so it kind of hurts a little bit there. We'll get to see the end of Fauna's playthrough. Have you heard of a VTuber that recently debuted this year named Nimi Nightmare? I'm not 100% sure, but she may have played Witcher 3. Or maybe it was a Skyrim. There was something that she started playing. But I feel like it was in the middle for some reason. Do you have a physical copy? I respect it. As a physical game guy myself. Curse the Blood Moon, or Curse the Moon 2 pissed me off in one level. It did not ruin my fun with Metroidvanias. That's good. I heard a lot of good things about that one. Hello, Justin. Welcome to the stream. Hope it's going well. Minecraft. I only played it once. Minecraft is one of my all-time favorite games. It was a fun stream. It was chill. You know, I like building. I like exploring. I don't really like fighting. I don't really like metagaming in Minecraft or whatever, but I do like just exploring and filling in maps and building a little base area, so I had fun doing that. Yeah, I mean, it was a good time. It's chill. It's easy. I'll put it in B-. Maybe around, like, around there. So crazy that Witcher 3 came out in 20... Damn, 10 years now? I knew it was in the 2010s, but jeez. Yeah, that's an oldie. Minesweeper. So Minesweeper's fun. I play a lot of Minesweeper. I play it on my computer. I play it on my phone. If I'm stuck in line waiting somewhere, if I'm like on an airplane or a train or traveling and I just need something to play on my phone, usually it's like Solitaire, Sudoku, and Minesweeper. Those are my like top 3 go-tos. So I always have a good time with it. Again, it's chill, it's easy. I don't really have to think that hard. I'll put it in B- as well. Hexcells is better than it, but it's still fun. I don't remember talking about Monument Valley. I don't know why that's up here. I guess I'll talk about it now. I accidentally dragged it up. Monument Valley I thought was cool. Really neat how it plays with perspective to like rotate and twist and turn things to complete the puzzles. It did confuse me at points, but it was very pretty, very relaxing soundtrack. Had a little bit of a story that was kind of nice, but it was okay. It was like, it didn't blow me away. It doesn't like super stick with me. I'd probably put it in C tier. But if you're looking for a one-stream game that's pretty easy, that's a good one. So ahead of its time. When I have time to do like a long game, I'll have to do a poll of like, hey, what long game should I play? But it's going to be a really hard choice, I'm sure, between like Witcher 3, Cyberpunk, Red Dead 2. Like those are all 70 to 100 hour games. MLB The Show. Like I've said, I like baseball a lot. I thought that was fun. I remember I kind of goofed because I spent an hour doing like a fantasy draft in that game. And then I accidentally backed out and it didn't save my draft. So then I had to redo another hour-long draft, which was kind of a pain in the ass. But, you know, the games went well. It was opening day, so I was super excited for baseball. There was a decent amount of people there watching, which kind of surprised me because I thought nobody would care about baseball or sports games. But it was fun. I will put that in low B-. Monster Prom. Very early on in my streaming career, I played that. I think like April, like 2 months after I started, maybe. I thought it was a lot of fun. The dialogue is hilarious. The situations are fun. I got some really good shorts out of it. I got some really good growth out of it because the shorts kind of popped off. I still have not played Monster Prom 2, 3, and 4. I would like to play those at some point. But the first one was a lot of fun. I liked it. Chat liked it. It was just an all-around fun game. I would put that in B+. Mortuary Assistant. Too scary for me. I liked watching Cashew play it last year because he was willing to play it on the higher difficulty scary settings than me. I played in baby mode, and I still got jump scared here and there. I think it's a cool concept. I don't feel like there's a lot of depth to it, though, so I got kind of bored of it while playing it. But I think I played it on, like, actual Halloween, and that was kind of cool. Is it really scary? You can kind of tailor the scariness. It had a setting, like a slider from, like, I don't know, 1 to 10 or something, and you could set how, like frequent you wanted jump scares and scares and stuff like that to actually be. I played on whatever the default was. I think Cashew might have done a run where he played it on like the max or one below the max. I think if you play on the max, it's so constant that it probably takes away from the scariness. Because then it's like, oh, haha, you did it again. What do you know? There's a face behind me all of a sudden. I thought on default, it was a good level of scare. It wasn't so scary that I couldn't like finish the game, but it definitely made me feel uneasy. It had some good jump scares with like, you turn around to do something, you turn back around, there's something hiding in the corner of the room. There's a dark hallway where you can kind of make out a figure at the end. Like, it's good with like playing with those kinds of things. So if you were looking for like a scary game to play next month, I feel like that's probably a good choice. Monster Prom games make me miss the Yogg. I don't think I've heard of the Yogg. What is that? Like another kind of comedy game? Oh yeah, Mortuary. So what I was talking about. I'm gonna put that in D. It was probably better than Killer Frequency in terms of like a stream game, but not my usual cup of tea. Game with extremely similar gameplay from 2013. Damn, 12 years ago? That game's practically Unk status like me. I'm freaking Unk status next year. Can you believe that? Mustache. Mustache is fun. I find Mustache a lot harder. Yeah, 30, Armando. I turned 29 this year. 30 next year. Oh. I think Mustache has a great visual style, and I think the music is good, but I find it a lot harder than like the top-down rhythm games like Guitar Hero, Rock Band, DJ Max, Clone Hero. Like, those all come top to bottom, and I'm way better at those. The side-to-side of Mustache I find way harder. So that does take away from it a little bit for me because I can't play the difficulties that I might normally want to play. I have to play on easier modes. But I still think the music and the gameplay is fun. So I would probably put it in like B-. It's not a top-tier rhythm game for me, but it's fun. I'll put that like around here. Just turn your monitor, I'm telling you. I mean, honestly, that might be the move. No fun getting old, but you still have 7 years before you have to start having random pains. Oh, I already have them, Armando. I started early. It's always like my back or my neck. I sleep weird and then I'm debilitated for the rest of the day. Random pains already started? Yeah, handshake. We got a lot of 30s next year, huh? Me, Wasabi, Kevin. It's about a storm coming to destroy your kingdom, and you get so many weeks to spend to determine your ending with a lot of varied situations. That does sound interesting. Nikkei. I've done a lot of Nikkei streams this year. A lot of events. I've done some story. I've done some side stories. I have a lot of fun with Nikkei. I really enjoy the game. Those streams tend to do pretty well. I feel like, you know, people are into the story. People are into the characters and the designs. I would say it's the gacha I play the most outside of Uma Musume right now. Uma I play the most for sure. Nikkei I play a good amount. FGO I still pretty much just, whenever a new event happens, I like wait until the last day of the event and then I just binge the whole thing in one sitting. So like FGO I don't really play a whole lot outside of when new story chapters happen, but Nikkei, great. I still need to catch up on the story, but I do keep up with the events at least and level my team up and stuff. It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna put Nikkei in A. I'll put it, yeah, I'll put it at the end of A. Oblivion, not the streamer, the game. I played one stream of Oblivion. I labeled it number 1 on the stream because I wasn't sure if I would actually keep playing it. I did enjoy it, but I didn't like it as much as I remembered liking Skyrim. You know, it's pretty to look at, but I guess Bethesda games, even though it is a remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it, it still had glitches, it still had bugs. I still noticed some slowdown. It would chug a little bit when I would save. Like, that's kind of annoying for a game that is 20 years old and just got remastered. Like, would be nice if that was fixed. But that being said, it played well. It looked a lot better than the original did from what I've seen. But it just didn't hit the same way that Skyrim did for me, so I wouldn't say I soft dropped it. I just kind of decided I would play it on my own time and not on stream. So I'll put that probably in like maybe like low C, mid C. Hello, Ved. Welcome to the stream. Hope it's going well. In Bethesda, the bugs are part of the experience. Yeah, to an extent. I like the funny ones where like a ragdoll goes flying or something, but like old school Bethesda on PS3 where like my Fallout New Vegas and Skyrim saves became unplayable at some point. Not so fun. After putting 70 hours into the game. Oh, you can't load your save anymore. Haha. Great. Outer Wilds. So I adored Outer Wilds, which is probably pretty obvious to a lot of you considering a lot of my anniversary for my second anniversary was themed around Outer Wilds. My opening and ending screens are Outer Wilds. My anniversary video was all themed around it, as well as the art and stuff that I use now. I thought it was a phenomenal game. I really enjoyed exploring all the planets, uncovering what was going on, coming to the conclusion about the ending. Super, just well done ending, beautiful music. Like everything about that game is phenomenal. That is very high up. That is an S tier game. I might even say that is my most S tier. At least for what we've seen so far. We still got about 50-ish games to go through. 40 to 50. Get a lot of chapters to play through Nikke, and it gets harder in later ones, like me with the 40 boss. Yeah, I can imagine. They gotta keep the goalpost moving. Oxenfree 2. So I played the original in my own time way before I started streaming. I played the second one on stream, and I did like it. I'm not sure if I liked it more than the first one, but it was really good. I would probably put it like as a stream. It was okay. I'll put it in C. Maybe like high C. Wilds, woo! I know you loved it too, which I was very glad to see. Waiting for you to play the DLC. I do plan on doing the DLC at some point. I imagine I could probably get 2 streams out of that. It's nice to know that there's more Outer Wilds. Like, I've kind of let it sit and like ruminate and whatnot, but I do want to play the DLC at some point. I don't think I've cried like that on stream before. Yeah, you cried a lot more than I expected you to. Because I know that, I mean, for that same reason. Like, I've seen you get choked up here or there, I believe, but I haven't seen, like, that level of being that sad or just hitting that hard. But I totally get it. It definitely choked me up when I played it. I managed to to mostly hold it in, but I definitely have, like, cried in my own time, like listening to the music and watching some fan videos and stuff. Like it definitely hits. Leo's the only person I know to beat Astrobot. Oh boy, those are fighting words. Persona 3 Reload, absolutely loved it. Amazing story, amazing characters, amazing gameplay, amazing music. I loved everything about Persona 3 Reload. I liked it definitely more than Persona 5 Royal. I think it's probably my favorite JRPG, just in general. Made me even more excited for Persona 4 whenever that comes out, because I hear a lot of people who claim that Persona 4 is the best of the Personas, like the modern ones, 3, 4, 5. But I freaking adored Persona 3. Took me like 28 streams to beat the whole game or something, but it was a damn good time. ISP decided it's time to start dropping 20% of the packet. No! Well, thanks for stopping in, Ved. Hopefully your internet situation fixes itself at some point. Sooner than later. I'm gonna put... Where'd Persona go? There it is. Persona goes in S tier. Right up here. I had a fair bit playing Zenless the other day. Oh, is it like a new story chapter or event or something that's sad? Persona 5 X. So I've only played that 3 times, but I've enjoyed it. I'm definitely looking forward to playing it more for the story and stuff, and I will do that on stream. I just need to find days to slot them in. But it's fun. It does feel a lot like just Persona 5, but gacha-fied. I wish I had better luck in the gacha, considering I've had to go to pity for every single 5-star character so far. But outside of that, it's been fun. I would put it in low B+. Maybe mid B+. New character story really got me in my tender little heart. It feels good when that happens, though, you know? Like, I'm not saying I want to cry, but I like if a game or an anime or whatever makes me cry, because that is how I know it, like, really resonated with me, you know? I got really invested in the story or the characters or the themes or whatever it is. So I like that. Song It's Going Down Now in PPR hit me hard, especially for those who know. Both of the credit songs, the credits for the main game and the credits for the Aegis DLC, both really got me. I was fighting for my life in both of them. Sometimes the cry is a good release. I agree. That's how I felt after Look Back. I think out of like all games in anime, at least for the last couple years, Look Back is definitely the hardest I cried at. And it was weird because it was kind of hitting me like during the credits, but it was like 10 minutes after. Like I just got hit by a huge wave while I was thinking about it, and then I was like a mess. I don't know why it was like a delayed thing, but yeah, Look Back was definitely my biggest one. Anyone ever have dreams that make you wake up crying? I can't think of one that I've had like that. I've had dreams that made me wake up scared. I actually had one of those recently. But I don't think I've had a dream that made me cry. Or my soul up hit way too close to home. That's what I was saying. Like, it hit for me even as like a streamer and like video creator. But I think for artists, it would hit like a bajillion times harder than it did for me. First time I beat Silent Hill 2, I sobbed during the credits. Silent Hill 2. Which ending did you get for your first playthrough? Paranormal Sight. So this was another visual novel I did on stream, but I really liked that one. Very good, like, horror suspense visual novel. Really interesting story and characters, in my opinion. Really good art style. Doesn't rely on cheap jump scares, but it still got me a couple times. And I think the ending was satisfying from what I remember. I liked the concept of, like, I think there were 3 different main characters, and you could jump between all of their stories and see the story from their perspective. And then at some points, the stories would intersect. So it was like, okay, you play as character 1 up to a point, and then they run into a different protagonist. And it's like, oh, okay. So you switch to the other protagonist, and you play through their story, and then you hit the intersect point, and you can continue on, because now you know what happened on both sides. Like, there's a bunch of different... I don't know. I like that a lot. It's kind of the timeline thing again. Really good. So I liked that one a lot. I would put that in B+, probably like... probably around here. Really high B+. Or I guess that's mid B plus. Originally, I got Leave. I think I got In Water for mine. Look Back might be the same category as Marley and Me, a movie I really love that I might never watch again. I think that's totally fair. You don't need to rewatch it to re-experience the emotions or whatever. I listen to the soundtrack for Look Back a ton. Like, not daily, but like multiple times a week. I probably have the music playing. Pico Park 2. That was an infamous collab. I think a lot of us were really excited for that. It started off as just like, I think 3 or 4 of us, and then we kept adding more people until we had 7 or 8. It had definitely some good laugh out loud moments, but it had way more frustrating moments with how hard it was to coordinate 7 to 8 people to solve a puzzle at the same time. And when it gets to a situation where it's like, we have to do this specific thing, and only one person messes up and kills it, and then you have to restart. It's like, oh my god, it's really hard to not start getting mad at each other. So like, it was funny, but it was definitely frustrating. I would put that in C. Yeah, I would say low C feels good. Apparently Oblivion stream Paranormal site. He did, yeah. I remember I caught part of it. A dream this week where I knew I was dying, was trying to get to my family members to say goodbye on my way to oh man. I can see how that one would make you cry for sure. Didn't finish it. I would recommend going back to it. I thought it was really good. Even if it's just in your own time. He needs to do another Pico Park. I don't know about that. Maybe if they come out with Pico Park 3. I feel like you're going to have a really hard time convincing most of the people to play that again. I think there was so much frustration by the end of that. Oblivion never finishes. I'd always finish some. But I also understand it as a streamer with like, you know, if the game isn't as fun as you thought it would be, it's like, well, I don't really want to finish it. If the game's not doing well and people aren't really watching, well, you know, I'll just finish it at my own time. If other stuff is coming out that you're more interested in, it's like, well, sorry, the game I'm playing, but I would rather play this new thing that just came out. There's totally valid reasons to not finish. I think Pico's the first time that Cashew yelled at me. I remember hearing about that. Cashew do be yelling. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a "Shut up, Frost!" Like, you know, we're in the middle of trying to solve a puzzle. We know what we're trying to do. We're struggling. You say like, come on, or, you know, I think you just need to do what? Shut up, Frost! Like, just, I'm trying to, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, I'm sure it wasn't an angry yell, but I could 100% see something like that. PictoPix. This is basically Picross. I thought it was really good. I don't like it as much as Minesweeper, but I do really like PictoPix as well. And Picross. I actually want to play that more. I think that's a really good just like chat and hang out kind of game. Like I just solve puzzles while we're chatting. Same thing with Hex Cells. So at some point I would like to go back to that. I would actually also put that in B+. I really liked it. It's exactly what I think it was. Yeah. We're down to the final 4 rows. I will never play Pico Park. I won't touch that game even with a really long pole. It's just Frustration City for sure. I get you. Pistol Whip. So another VR, one of the 3 VR rhythm games I've played. Beat Saber was one. Pistol Whip was another. I do like Pistol Whip. Out of the 3 of the rhythm games I play, it's either second or third for VR. I like the EDM, again, heavy soundtrack. It had the same issue as Beat Saber with, it's VR, so it's really hard for me to see chat. So I have the audio playing in my ear of like the robot voice reading me chat. Not really ideal in a rhythm game, but it was fun. I mean, it was a good time overall. I would say like, I'll probably put that in like high C. Pokemon Soul Silver. That was a ton of fun. That's been in my backlog for over a decade. So I'm glad I could finally play that. And it was one of my best performing streams of all time, if not I think it actually was my best ever stream, or like series that I played. Had the most average viewers, it had the most like active and engaged chat. I was having a lot of fun with it. There was a lot of excitement with like the Nuzlocke piece of it, with like, oh, can he do it? How far can he go? Obviously, it was heartbreaking when I got wiped by that Magmar and Electabuzz. But even finishing the rest of the game normally, I think it was still fun to build the team. The post-game stuff was fun. It was just a lot of fun in general. I can see why people say it's one of the best Pokemon games. I am excited to play more Pokemon. I will play ZA when that comes out. And then probably after that, I don't know about directly after. Like, I might kind of take breaks for any kind of long-running series like Pokemon, Resident Evil, Yakuza, whatever games I play that have multiple games. I probably won't play them back to back just because it can get tiring if it's the same thing over and over again. And that's a good chance to like switch in other series and games and stuff. So I probably won't play Black and White right after ZA, but it would be the next one I play, Black and White. That being said, Pokemon, I would put... Is that S or is it high A? Like, as a game, I think I liked Metaphor more. DJ Max shouldn't be an S, the more I look at it. I think DJ Max is an A game. I think... Do I put Pokemon over Metaphor? I think I'll keep it as high A for now. It's during the challenge to match the blocks and characters to the picture they show you, and I said, how are they getting worse? I can see why that would set Cashew off in the moment. Why does Cashew get a 3 and I have nothing? If Oblivion gets a number before me, I'm gonna lose my mind. We'll see, Armando. You never know. Soul Silver was a good time. It was a great time. A banger time. Portal 2. Oh, Portal and Portal 2. Okay. So I played Portal by myself, obviously. And I played the Portal 2 co-op campaign with Zero. I still need to play the Portal 2 single-player campaign. Portal 2 solo. I thought, honestly, Portal, just the first game, I thought was only okay. Again, for its time, I'm sure it was really cool. I'm glad I could play, like, a classic game and experience it. But it didn't, like, blow me away ever. I would put it probably in C, towards the bottom. Portal 2, I thought was more fun. The game itself was more fun. Having the co-op experience, trying to figure out the puzzles together was also fun. So I would put Portal 2 probably in like B+. Probably right about here. Did you already rank Split Fiction? I have not. That one is still down here. Skill issue. I assume you haven't played since you lost your Nuzlocke as well, Oblivion. Professor Layton is the next one. Well, that was a game. That game pissed me the hell off with some of those puzzles because they had such... Oh my god. Yeah. I thought it was fun. I think that was one of my best like series of games that I streamed because there was a good amount of people watching. everybody was like working together, and like obviously I would give the puzzle myself a shot first, but if I started struggling, it was like communal puzzle solving. Like we were all trying to figure out the puzzles together, deciphering the hints. Like I got something wrong, people are offering solutions. That's wrong. People are like, what the hell? How is that wrong? Like, I don't know. I liked the communal aspect to it of how we were all getting tilted together trying to solve the puzzles. I thought it was like a charming art style. It was cute. And there's a lot of Layton games to go. I have like, I think I own the whole series. So there's, I think 3 more DS games, 2 3DS, and 1 Switch one. So I got plenty more. I own all of them. I got plenty of Layton that we could play. But I thought it was fun. Layton was fun once we all started working together. Yeah, once I stopped trying to solo it and get insanely tilted, and it became a communal thing, that definitely added to it. It was definitely better that way. I'm going to put Layton in high B-. Layton vs. Ace Attorney I don't have. That game is really expensive in the aftermarket. It's like at least $100 for a physical copy. Which kind of stinks, obviously. And since I don't know the Ace Attorney side, I'm not sure how much I would really get out of it. So I would probably focus on the Layton stuff, and then maybe after, like, if or whenever I play Ace Attorney, then I might go back and play it. But yeah, involving others always adds to the experience. I told my ex when she caught me cheating. Yeah, that's I don't know if you're getting out of that one, Armando. Project Sakai, so that was a collab with Kiwi. I forget, 1 or 2 other people might have joined at some point, but I know she's super into that game, so she really wanted to do that at some point, so it was nice that we were able to. Again, kind of the same as how I feel about the other Miku rhythm game. I don't like Vocaloid stuff as much as other rhythm games. So there's less music that I'm into in that, but it does have a lot of like actual people music too, which I do like. So I liked it more than the other Miku game, but I would probably rate it close to it. So maybe like around here. Q Remastered. So that was pretty early on. I had a good short or 2 come out of that. It's kind of fun at first, but it started to lose me as it went on. Some of the puzzles, I don't know if it's just because I was really struggling with the game, but there were a lot of puzzles in that game that I could not wrap my head around. No matter what I did, I could not figure those things out. Or I would be convinced that I had to do something, and no matter how many times I tried, it wouldn't be right, and I just couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. Like, it was pretty hard. I know they came out with a sequel too. I'm not sure how that is. But it was okay. I would probably put it like maybe high D. Raft is F for sure. I know Frost likes it. That was a horrible experience. Considering it was like the team real. Oh, we haven't played together in a while. Let's play something. Oh, what are you feeling? Oh, I've heard Raft is good. Okay. So some of us bought Raft. We all installed it. And then it was like 40 minutes of just endless scuff. Nothing would work for anybody. You know, people were getting disconnected. I could see everybody, but like Rel and Allura couldn't see each other in the game. No matter what we did, it was endless scuff. Nothing worked. And 40 minutes into the stream, we were like, fuck it, we're done. We all just switched to Dead by Daylight and then played that for a little bit. So that was horrible. I refunded the game after because I was so mad that it just did not go well at all. Yeah, that was horrible. I love that stream. I'm sure it was probably for the people watching, like, oh my god, what's gonna go wrong next? But yeah, that was not good. Oh, big yawn. Refine Self. So that was a personality test game, which I did like. Honestly, for a personality test game, the way they kind of implemented the test being in that it tracks all the stuff you do as you play, and then it kind of builds a profile of you based on how you play, I thought that was really cool. And I thought it was relatively accurate. I also liked that at the end, you get a code that you can share, and then other people who play the game, if you boot into the game and you finish it, you can then like plug in someone else's code, and then you can compare basically to be like, oh, how did my personality compare to this other person's personality? And I remember at the end of my stream, a lot of Hololive people have played it. So I was looking up a bunch of their codes, and then I was comparing like my personality to theirs. And I thought that was cool, like an interesting like shared feature to it. There was also a little more of a story to it than I expected. I remember I actually choked up really hard at the end. I almost cried, which I did not expect from a personality test game. Like, yeah, that caught me really off guard. So that was really cute. I would definitely recommend it. It's pretty cheap. I think it was like $7 or $8. If you have a PC, you should play it. I will put that in... I grabbed the wrong game. I will put that in low B. Really wanted to play it, but I saw like more game unlocked on repeated playthroughs, and I thought that might be weird for a personality test. Yeah, so I think the way it worked is that you get your like main personality result after you finish it the first time. Then to fully fill out your personality, you do have to finish it like 2 more times. But the subsequent playthroughs are faster because you already know things that you can do to like quote unquote get to the end of the game. Or you can like, it's timed, I believe, or you're timed to a certain number of actions. You can only do so many actions in your playthrough. So since you know some things that are going to happen, you can more efficiently do things, which gives you more actions to like try out other things that you couldn't do the first time. Which that's kind of how it builds out more of your personality, because it's like, okay, given more time, what does the person choose to do? So it was kind of neat how it was implemented, but I do see what you mean. I think I did it as a one-off stream in like 3 hours, and that included the main playthrough and then 2 faster playthroughs to like fully do my thing. And it included me still like looking at other things. I think it was 3 to 4 hours. So it's definitely still doable for a one-off stream. But I can see why you would hesitate. All right, 3 Resident Evil games in a row here. We have Resident Evil, the original, which I finished recently. Resident Evil 4 in VR, which I played 1 time. And Resident Evil Village in VR, which I played 3 times. So Village in VR, I'll start with that because that was the first one I did. I did that pretty soon after I started my streaming career. One of the streams was a horrible mess, and I didn't realize because I had like HDR enabled, which totally destroyed the visuals. So that stream was unwatchable for everyone other than me, because it looked fine in my headset, and I didn't know until the stream ended, and I was looking at the VOD, and I was like, why the fuck is this pitch black? You can't see anything. So that was kind of embarrassing, and it was a learning lesson for me, or a hard lesson to learn. The game itself was fun in VR. I felt a little motion sick here and there, so I think I couldn't play for more than like 1.5 hours to 2 hours at a time. But it was like fun enough. I'll put it in C, probably like low C. Resident Evil 4 in VR I thought was better than Village. It didn't make me as motion sick, it looked better, it played smoother. It would weirdly take you out of VR into like a third-person view when you did certain moves, which I thought was kind of weird. but it was still fun. It was entertaining. I played like the first 3 hours of the game or something in VR. I will put that one in high C. Resident Evil, the original game, I would say was better than both of those. I definitely got frustrated with tank controls, given that it was like my first game either ever or in a long time that used them. That was an adjustment. That being said, I did really like the puzzle solving. I thought it was very gratifying to like... It's kind of like an escape room, in a sense. Like, finding something in one area that lets you solve a puzzle in a different area, and then the solution of that lets you solve the puzzle somewhere else, and it's kind of this rolling thing of like, okay, yeah, I'm unlocking that door, I'm filling in the map. Like, I really like that feeling. The combat was like, okay. The limited ammo can feel frustrating, but I can see how it adds to the experience and feels more realistic. The story was fine. Characters were kind of campy, but, you know, it was the first game. I know it gets better. Overall, I enjoyed it, though. I had a good time with it. I'm glad I finally played it. I will definitely play more of the series. I will put that in... I'll say high B-. Yeah, that seems good. Also did very well as a stream, actually. Which is another always good perk. I really appreciate when the streams do well, and I can look forward to being like, okay, we're going to get a good turnout in this one. Like, people are going to be chatty, they're going to be helpful, like... So I did like that. You know, I'll bump it up to low B+ for that. Okay, Rhythm Doctor. Another very unique rhythm game. I thought the way it played with timings was cool. The way it played with the actual screen on your computer was cool. Caught me off guard with some of the things that it did to actually accomplish that. The music was good. It was kind of short. I think I beat it in about 2 streams. The difficulty was definitely there too. Overall, it was fine. I'll probably put that in B-, maybe like low B-. Around there. Rhythm Heaven, on the other hand, pissed me the fuck off. That game enraged me. I forget what level I got stuck on. I think there was like things falling into a glass or something, and God, that is just about close to the most angry I've ever been on stream. Rhythm Heaven. I will never play that game again. I need to sell my copy of the game. I don't even want to own it because I'm so upset with the game. So that was bad. I'm going to put Rhythm Heaven in F. Some of the songs were good, and some of the visuals were good. But I got way too tilted in that game. Ross is always helpful. I don't think I'm ever helpful. You're helpful in providing a good mood, Armando. You might not be able to give advice in the game, but you always add a jovial atmosphere to chat, you know? F for foul. Love Lab. Yeah, that's the one. No Rhythm Heaven games in the future? I don't think so. I know there's one on the Wii, which is very expensive secondhand. I think they announced a new one for Switch or something? But yeah, I would say probably don't expect to see one. We're getting close to the end. I'm still going to have to speed it up a little bit, though, to be ready for dinner. This dinner is going to be coming up soon. Rhythm Sprout. So that was another one of the first games I played. It was okay. There was a couple good songs. The dialogue I remember being kind of funny. I think you were like an onion knight and you were trying to save a kingdom from like the evil broccoli or something like that. It was an interesting setup, but it was okay, I guess. I don't feel super strongly about it either way. Maybe like low C. Rock Band. I love Rock Band, one of my all-time favorite rhythm games. Obviously, I got about 8,000 copyright claims on that because all of the songs are copyrighted. But, you know, I love Rock Band. I love the song selections in the game. I will put that in B+. Probably like... yeah, maybe around here. Things in them right now. This is a really nice, like, whatever you call the bell graph or whatever. What's for dinner? We are having pasta with sauce and meatballs and sausage. Very typical Sunday dinner for me, but it's always a 10 out of 10. Atelier Ryza. So I really, really, really wanted to like Atelier Ryza. I love Ryza's design. The character designs in general are really good, but I love Ryza's design. I really liked that the story was like just kind of like good vibes, like felt like a group of friends kind of having summer vacation together kind of thing. A little more serious than that, but like that was the general vibe to it, which I liked. I thought the world was pretty, like it was fun to explore. The combat was like okay, not my cup of tea, but I didn't hate it. What I really didn't like was the crafting and the alchemy, which unfortunately is the main part of the game. I really don't like crafting systems in games. I know I went on a rant when I was playing Starfield about Ryza, where I was like, okay, so the objective is like craft object A to complete the objective and proceed with the story. It's like, okay, let me look at my crafting book. Okay, so to craft object A, I need objects B and C. Oh, I don't have either of those. I have to craft them. Okay, so to craft object B, I need D and E. Okay, I don't have either of those, so I need to craft D, which, okay, so I craft D. It's like, okay, so now I'm gonna craft E. Hold on, I'm gonna cough. All right, so then E is like, okay, you can find E in the wild. Great, so I have D and E, I craft B. Great, on to C. But to make C, I need F and G. Great, now I have to craft F. Okay, I craft that. Now I have to craft G. Oh, I don't have enough materials to craft G. Great, now I have to leave the atelier, go back into the wilderness, do some foraging for 20 minutes, come back to the atelier, craft G. So now I have F and G. It's like, okay, now I'm going to craft C. Psych! No, you're not, idiot, because your crafting level is too low. If you want to craft C, you have to raise your crafting level. Oh, cool. How do I do that? Craft things. Great. Let's go back in the wilderness again and get a bunch of random materials and bring it back to the atelier and craft a bunch of random shit that I don't care about just to raise my crafting level. Great. Now my crafting level is high enough to craft C. Cool, I have B and C. Now I can finally craft A. No, you can't. Why not? Well, your crafting level is too low again. Go craft more things so that you can craft A. And I was like, oh my God. What the fuck is this? Like, that was horrible. Absolutely horrible. Everything else about the game, cool. I enjoyed it. But boy, did I despise the crafting system. So Atelier Ryza unfortunately goes to the bottom of D. I'll put it above those other games because it still had some merits to it, but I did not find the crafting stuff fun at all. Bell curve, yeah. Stuff I don't mind, so long as you have a guide. A guide definitely would have helped, because then I would have known ahead of time, like, hey, make sure you have this amount of materials before you go back, because you're going to need all of them to do this crafting. That would have helped a lot. Sayonara Wild Hearts, another random one-off with rhythm game that I played. I thought it was good. It was very short. I think I beat the game in like an hour 15 or an hour and a half or something. That was also the stream where I launched memberships for the first time, so that was kind of exciting. Music-wise, I liked it. I liked how varied like the different songs and gameplay styles and stuff were, especially for such a short game. and I believe it was the same publisher or developer who did Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, which I really liked last year. I did not stream it, but it was probably one of the better games I played last year. Insanely hard puzzle game. Hardest puzzle game. Layton looks like a joke compared to Lorelei. So, you know, if you like puzzle games, I highly recommend it. It had like a nice creepy vibe to it. Very satisfying to solve the puzzles and figure out what's going on at this mansion that you're stuck in. But it is a hard game. Very rewarding, though. Yeah, Nivi, also a big fan. You can take it from me and Nivi both. And it's a really good game. That gives me some verified cred. Yeah, exactly. Being able to beat Lorelei is like an achievement. Like, I bet if I played that game again, either of us, like, we would forget all of the solutions because they're so, like, intricate and require so many steps and whatnot that we would get stumped and still end up spending, like, at least a dozen hours getting through it again. As a fan, Hololive MV, I liked it. Give it a look if you feel like it. What was the name of it? I'm sure that would be up my alley. As for Sayonara Wild Hearts, I will put that in B-. Maybe like, around there. Silent Hill 2. All right. I've never played a Silent Hill 2 or a Silent Hill game up until the Silent Hill 2 remake last year, so I didn't really know what to expect outside of knowing that Silent Hill 2 is generally considered the best or the most popular of the Silent Hill games. And I remember being cautiously optimistic. The developer didn't have an amazing track record from what I remember, but it reviewed really well. And I was like, okay, it reviewed really well. It's October. I've never played this. Sounds like a slam dunk to stream. And it was really good. I really liked the game. I thought the atmosphere was amazing. I liked the mystery of trying to figure out what's going on in Silent Hill, what's going on with James and his backstory, what's going on with these side characters. Gameplay was fun. Again, I liked the puzzle solving. Combat was fine. Sound design, level design, really good. Story was enjoyable. I thought I got a good ending, a very fitting ending. Overall, it made me more interested in the franchise. So now, you know, Silent Hill F comes out next week. And I'm definitely going to get it and play it on stream. I've also heard they're remaking the original Silent Hill. So you can assume I'm going to get and play that at some point too, whenever that comes out. So Silent Hill 2 definitely is going to be pretty up there. I would put Silent Hill 2 in A. Probably like right here. Hearts of Our Generation by Mule. Alright, I'll have to look that up later. Slay the Princess. I also thought this was pretty neat. I played that kind of early on. I think I might have played it around Halloween-ish. My first year of streaming. I will say, it started to fizzle out for me towards the end. Early on, I was really into it, really engaged. I really liked seeing all of the different princesses, and I know there's a ton more I didn't see. But at least the ending I got, it was getting so high level and conceptual and like metaphysical with what was happening that it completely lost me. Like, I was reading it, but I didn't even know what I was reading. Like, I didn't understand half of what was happening. It was like very over my head. So I wasn't as fond of it towards the end when all of that stuff started happening, but I did really like the early hours of it. You know, I liked the sketchy visuals, I liked the sound, and the voice acting was really good. Overall mystery was fun, but yeah, the end of it, it definitely started to lose me. So I would probably put it in like mid-C maybe. Soma. I believe that's the same studio who made Amnesia. I really liked Soma. I thought it was better than Amnesia for sure. Very interesting world and lore. I really liked piecing together what happened, like who I was, the story of the underwater, base that I had found myself in, exploring all the different rooms. I don't know. I really like that kind of thing, where it's like not explicitly telling you the story, you're kind of putting it together yourself. I thought it was a good ending. That was a collab with Serbi as well, because they really liked the game, so they were just kind of like hanging out, answering questions, explaining things to me while I was playing. There was a couple really hard choices that you have to make in the game, which I also liked. I do like hard choices. Overall, that was definitely a solid game, though. I like that a lot. Good turnout, too. People are pretty interested in that one. I'll put that one in B+. Maybe, like, right around here. There's some extra stuff added to the Slay the Princess release. Oh, yeah, I heard about that. They called it, like, the recut or something like that. Spelunker Party. So, that was a random collab that Cashew threw together at some point. Cashew, myself, Nivi, and you. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect from that game, but I thought it was a lot more fun than I expected it to be. Like, kind of screwing each other over a little bit was kind of funny. Helping each other out was still fun. The game itself, I don't know. I thought it was a lot more fun than I expected. I want more Spelunker Party. I would be down. I thought it was a good time. I know you're a vet, though. You still have to hard carry, but it was a good time. I would play more. You collabed with me? This is a you joke. Yeah. I mean, we basically collabed in Pokemon and Layton with how much you were helping in the chat. I will also put Spelunker Party in B+. Maybe like... I'll say low B+. Actually, B+. Okay, no, I'll do high B-. I'll do it like right here. I have a little trio of collab games going. See, I could probably split B+ and B- and add a B as well. And then I could move some of the B+ down and the B- up into B. Like, B- feels kind of harsh for some of these. But I don't feel like it's B+. Found some bittersweet. Oh, it definitely is. There's one really bittersweet moment in the middle, and then the ending, 100%. Split Fiction. So I very recently finished that game. Collab with Zero. I thought that was a lot of fun. Really, really creative game. Like, constantly changed up the gameplay elements. Never really knew where it was going to go. I liked the characters' like personal development throughout it. I thought it was a good ending. Just the gameplay was a ton of fun. It was impressive how well it worked, despite me and Zero living on opposite sides of the world. Yeah, great game overall. I don't think I would play the other games from that developer, just because, which is A Way Out and Inside Out, or not Inside Out. It Takes Two. Just because, like, I haven't played them, but I've watched so many other people play them that I already know, like, the whole experience, basically. But if they came out with a new game, I would definitely hit up Zero and go for a rerun. Oops. Accidentally just punched my mic. So I'm going to put Split Fiction. That's definitely a B+ game. I thought that was a lot of fun. I'll put it right before Halo for now. Give me too much credit. I just heckle from the stands. No. I mean, you do heckle from the stands at times. But you were very helpful in both of those games. I put Soma in that rare category of existential horror. Oh, 100%. That is a fantastic descriptor for that game. But I like it. I like that kind of stuff. Starfield. Oh, Starfield. What could have been? So, as I've said before, I love Fallout 3, 4, Vegas. I love Skyrim. So when they announced Starfield, I was like, holy shit. Fallout and Skyrim in space. This is going to be the best game of all time. Then Bethesda got bought by Microsoft, and I was like, damn it, they're not going to put their games on PlayStation anymore. So I bought an Xbox Series X just so I could play Starfield when it came out eventually. Months and months and months go by. Starfield finally comes out. I put it in my Xbox. I boot it up for stream. And I'm disappointed in every single thing about the game. I play it a second time on stream. I'm even more disappointed the second time. And then I dropped the game. I traded in Starfield. And I sold my Xbox. And that is the story of Starfield. Starfield goes into F tier. That was such a bummer. Outer Worlds is a better Fallout in space. If you mean like for that vibe of just Fallout in space, yes, I would agree. Outer Worlds, the first Outer Worlds I thought was like okay, but it was definitely better than Starfield. I would definitely try Outer Worlds 2 as well. I don't know about for full price, but if it goes on sale for like $40 or something, I would pick it up and give it a shot. Not making you sell the whole console. I mean, that was pretty much like I bought it specifically for Bethesda. And I was like, okay, I have it. I could get, you know, Halo and Gears and stuff too. Didn't even end up playing them because I just mostly play PlayStation and Switch stuff. And then Starfield was so disappointing. I was like, why even have the Xbox? Oh, no, so I didn't sell it right after Starfield. I did trade in Starfield, but I still kept the Xbox for a bit. Once Microsoft started putting their games on other consoles, then I sold the Xbox. So I was like, now there's 100% no reason to have it. Honkai Star Rail. So I played Star Rail one time, I think the day after or 2 days after it came out. You know, I was excited for a big new hyped gacha. I was like, okay, character designs look really good. You know, I will give it a shot. Wasn't super into it. I didn't even play far enough to get the free 5-star character. It wasn't bad. I just remember being like, thinking it was just okay the whole time, and then I did a boss fight, and I was looking online after and talking to one of my friends, and they were all hyping up like, oh my god, the first boss fight was cinema, it was so good, the music was phenomenal, blah blah blah, and I'm sitting there like, I don't agree with any of that. Maybe this game just isn't for me. And so I never opened the game again. Star Rail goes at the bottom of D tier, pretty much. Thoroughly whelmed. That's a good way to put it. Now you have no Xbox for Gears of War. Yeah. They did, so they released the like remake or remaster of the first game on PS5. So I do have it on PS5. And then Gears 5 is on PC, actually. So I could play those two, but yeah, I don't have a way to play Gears 2, 3, 4, and Judgment. I have considered buying, like, because you can get used Xbox Ones for really cheap. So I have considered getting just like a used Xbox One. You can literally get those things for like under $100 all day. Like the console, controller, cords, everything. And the pre-owned games are also super cheap. So I have considered getting a used Xbox just so I could get like the Gears games and play those. And there's other games that I would try out, but or like honestly, if a Series X had a deep cut sale in the future, I would consider getting one again just because there are Xbox One and Xbox 360 games that I would like to have. Like Fallout 3 and Fallout Vegas play way better on Xbox than they do on PS3. So if I ever wanted to play those games again, I would prefer to play them on the Xbox. Then I could have physical copies of the Halo games. I could have physical copies of the Gears games. There's other Xbox games I'm interested in, like, you know, I would pick up like the original Star Wars Battlefronts so I could play those because they're pretty good about backwards compatibility. I would get Maybe like the first couple Fables I heard are good. There's an RPG, I think, for 360 called Lost Odyssey that I hear good things about all the time. So there's definitely games that I would like to have physically if I could. But that's like a down the road kind of thing. If I happen to see a good deal for one, sure, I'll pick it up. They were probably talking about the boss at the end of the ice planet. The first boss on the space station isn't anything. Yeah, I fought the space station one. That boss knocked my socks off. Oh, the ice planet one? Maybe, yeah. Maybe I was just thinking of a different boss. Either way, Genshin and Star Rail, I think at this point, I don't ever really see myself going to. I would consider giving Zenless a try at some point. I'm a little more interested in that one, but yeah. Oh boy, dinner is going to be ready real soon, and I still have about 10 games left to go through. All right, we'll see how fast I can do these. Star Wars gotten ambitious, getting good praise for the latest arc. That's good. I know Wasabi was not happy with where Star Rail was going a while back. Give me one sec. Let me know what character you like, and I'll post it on the rerun in Zenless. I really like the player character as the girl version, I think, Belle. I really like her summer outfit. I assume I lost the chance to get that. I like Miyabi. Mostly because I've seen a lot of really funny fan art with her and her ears that I think is cute. I'd have to look at a list of the characters. I know there's a bunch that I've seen just like fan art of that I really like the designs of. Oh, the summer outfits are in the shop? Nice. Not gone forever. Stellar Blade. I really like Stellar Blade. You know, that was a Souls-like in combat. It's not a hard Souls-like. Hard meaning like a strict Souls-like. But it is definitely Souls-inspired. Stellar Blade is very Souls-inspired. So I'm proud of myself for sticking with it and beating it. I really liked the game overall. I thought, you know, the story wasn't like knock my socks off, but it was good enough to like keep me engaged the whole time. Character designs, amazing. Outfits, amazing. Music, 10 out of 10. Visuals, amazing. So I'm definitely looking forward to whenever they do the sequel, which I know that they've soft announced. I will definitely play that. But I liked the first one quite a bit. I will put Stellar Blade. Where'd Stellar Blade just go? Right here. Stellar Blade can go in. I'm debating between high B+ and low A. I'll have to think about that. Synth Riders, that's the other VR rhythm game I played. I do like this one a lot. The music in it, I'm not as into as Pistol Whip and Beat Saber, but it does still have some really good songs. So for that reason, I would put it lower than Pistol Whip, but not by that much. Maybe like about here. The Test was another personality test game, which I did on stream. I actually did 2. There's 3 games called The Test, and I did the first 2 of them in the same stream. It was okay. There wasn't really any game to it. It was literally just a test. I was expecting a little more game, kind of like the Refine Self one. So I wasn't as into it. I think I got like the exact same result from both of them too, which was like, okay. I spent another hour and a half doing a second test, and I got the exact same result. I guess it's good that it's consistent. It pegged me accurately for whatever reason, but yeah, I'll put that one in like low D. So wait on the AI Limit DLC. Dev said it would be this year. I heard pretty decent things about that. Can't wait for Stellar Blade 2. Me too. That'll be a day 1 for sure. Miyabi's Malachi's favorite. Good taste. Oh, Topaz. Is she Star Rail or Zenless? I think she's Star Rail. Oh yeah, she's Star Rail. Transistor. So that is the second of the Supergiant games. I played that right after Bastion. I liked it more than Bastion. I really liked like the combat, the way that you could customize it, kind of like Code. I thought was really neat, especially as somebody who works in tech. So I appreciated the work they put into designing that aspect of it. I would say I liked the story and the music. Pretty much everything about Transistor I liked a little bit more than Bastion. I would say it's still the same tier as Bastion. Maybe I'll just put it right in front of it. Her team is my favorite to play. Oh, Topaz's was? Her design is like 10 out of 10 Leo core. Typing of the Dead Overkill. That was pretty funny. The story was very stupid, but very funny. The characters, very stupid, but very funny. The voice acting, not very good, very funny. It was one of those, like, all of that was kind of so bad it's good type of stuff. Gameplay, I mean, I'm just typing words and trying not to get killed by the zombies. It's fine. You know, it was fun for, like, a one-off stream. Didn't expect the ending at all. That was kind of gross. Definitely caught me off guard. Did not expect what's flopping around from the final boss enemy. But it was, yeah, campy fun. That's a good way to put it. Would I ever go out of my way to play it again? No. Was it funny as a one-off stream? Yeah. I'll put that in C, but probably towards the bottom of C. We're down to the final 6. We're almost done. Yeah, we were definitely not getting in the FGO down bad one. That'll have to be a different tier list stream because dinner is ready. So I gotta wrap these last 6 up quick. Uma Musume! Oh my goodness, is that my favorite game of 2025 so far? Yes, it is. I have very much enjoyed Uma Musume. I've played it a shit ton. I've played it probably close to 300 hours in my own free time. And I've played it like 4 times on stream. I will almost definitely be streaming it more in the future. Probably once Cancer Cup is officially announced. Maybe I'll do some runs on stream to try and build some of my team and stuff. I don't know. But I'll definitely stream Uma Musume again in the future. It's a lot of fun. I love the game. I love the girls. It's peak. I'm playing it right now. Wow, you played it earlier today on stream. You're playing it right now. You're doing your Uma watch along soon. This guy's Uma'd out of his mind. I will put Uma Musume in A. I'll put it behind Nikke for now because I haven't streamed it as much. But yeah, those are good. Valheim. I collabed with Ezume twice on that one. That was fun. It was a good... I got my ass handed to me trying to do some like dungeon raid or something, but it was fun. I didn't really know what to expect because I had never played that game before. Kind of reminds me of The Forest in a way, but like minus some of the horror stuff. It was a good time. Nice to link up with Ezume for something. I will put that probably in like B-. Maybe like... Actually, where it is, it's fine. Had to give up on Uma. I was playing 6 and had to cut 2. Totally understandable. That's a lot of gacha to manage. I mean, I think I have 6 right now. FGO is your lane, Blue Archive, Nikke, Persona 5X, Uma. Yeah, I have 6 right now that I like log into at varying rates. But I do tend to go in cycles where like I focus on certain ones. Right now, Uma is the #1 focus, followed by Nikke. And then Persona 5X, probably. But I still pay attention to all of them. But it is hard. The more you add on, the harder it gets. Warhammer Vermintide 2. So that was a collab. I think we did like 3 streams of that. Cashew, Zero, and I. That was fun. Basically Left 4 Dead, but Warhammer. I would say I preferred Left 4 Dead because I like zombie stuff, and I don't know a whole lot about Warhammer, but it was interesting learning some of it as I played. And it was just a good time. Good, gaming with the boys. Good time. I would put Vermintide probably in B minus. Yeah, maybe around there. We were here. Another collab with Zero. So that was another one-off puzzle collab. I think we might have done that like right after Portal or right before Portal or something like that. It was fun. Definitely some funny instances of like Zero's freezing to death and I'm trying to figure out a puzzle on my side to make him not freeze to death. I can't do it. He ends up dying. We have to do it again. It was fun. I liked the, one person is the experiencer and trying to relay what they see with their voice, and then the other person is trying to solve what they're seeing with the puzzles that they have. Like, I like that setup. So I thought it was a good time. I would probably put that... probably right with these other collabs, honestly. We were here too when? Good question. I would be down to play through that whole series with Zero. Since we started the first one, but I don't think he has the other ones. I have most of them. So probably like whenever a sale happens and he can get the other games and we both happen to be around. Okra I don't know a whole lot about. I think I saw that Oblivion and Kiwi played it. Then this is the only one I actively play. ALP5X are on the back burner pretty hard. Understandable. I mean, you gotta have your priority one. P5X I mostly log in to do like every few days I log in and I do all of my like accrued social link stuff. And then I'll like roll for characters I want. Azure Lane I log into more often because a lot of it is autoplay, so I can just have it off to the side doing its own thing. But will I keep talking? No one explodes as a collab. Northern Line would stream with 4 different people and have them all assigned to different modules. That's crazy. I played that a little bit in person, like in VR, which was fun. That would be a good collab game though, for sure. Yakuza 0. I adored Yakuza 0. I thought that was a phenomenal game. Story was really good, constantly kept me on my toes with twists and turns and good developments, had a really satisfying, bittersweet, but satisfying ending. Kiryu and Majima were both peak protagonists. I loved both of them. The side characters were really fun. Gameplay, I'm not like a huge beat 'em up guy, but it was good enough to keep me going. Music was really good. The side activities were hilarious. The dialogue was really well written. The contrast between the side activities and the main stuff was fun. The real estate minigame I thought was, it kind of dragged towards the end because you needed such big numbers, but it was entertaining. Same thing with the club. Either way, I loved that game. I thought it was a ton of fun. People in the chat were really liking it. I had a good turnout for those streams. I think I would put Yakuza in S. I would probably put it at the back of S right now, but it would hit S. Which means my 5 S games that I've streamed and the 115-ish that I've done are Outer Wilds, Astrobot, Persona 3 Reload, God of War, and Yakuza 0. And then my final game, Call of Duty Zombies. I don't know, I was just really feeling zombies one day. I was like, why not? I'll just play some zombies. I grew up playing zombies. I was into it from like when I was 11 or 12 up until I was like 18, quite a bit. I played it still in college a bit. I've barely played it since college, but it's a good time. I have a good time with zombies. It's a fun co-op game. Yeah, good time. Nothing super substantial about that though. I'll put it in C probably. Maybe like around there. Yeah, I remember you found me there. There were a couple people I think who may have first saw me on Yakuza, but you were the most consistent for sure. And your advice in that, and Resident Evil for that matter, was very helpful. Whenever I needed help, it's like I was like, all right, is Kevin here? I know he'll be able to guide me in the right direction. Wait till you get to 7. The ending made me cry a bit. Really? I want to play the whole series. It's really just a matter of slotting it in. I'm hoping to get at least one more in this year. Probably like November. is when I would start Kiwami if things go according to plan and I finish games in timely manners and stuff, but we'll see. That's kind of what I'm targeting in my head, though. Leo in the streets. Excited for you to see the twists in Kiwami. Hey, there were plenty in Zero. I would be very excited to see more. But yeah, that is every different game that I've streamed, as long as I didn't miss something, which I probably did at some point. Pretty good turnout. I'm happy I finished it. It did take me a lot longer than I expected, but it was good. We'll have to do the FGO down bad tier list a different time. But did it! Yeah! Woo! That being said, I don't want to like quickly end things, but I do need to go and have some dinner. I don't want to keep my mom waiting for too long, assuming that she did wait. If she didn't, that's fine too. So I'm going to call it there and go have some dinner. But thank you all very much for coming to the stream, hanging out, chatting about the games and streams and other stuff. While I went through it, I always enjoy the tier lists. And thank you for any support that you've given over the, you know, whether that is coming to the streams and hanging out and chatting or other support, you know, over the past 400 streams, because today was stream number 400. Crazy. Big milestone to hit. Who knows what's next? Either 500 or 1,000. Or 1,000 subs. I don't know. But I appreciate it. Here's to 400 more. I know I got plenty of games to fill 400 and many more. Yeah, thanks for the support. Thanks for hanging out. I'm hoping to have 4 streams again this coming week. I think I already have High Five Rush and Halo 2 scheduled for Wednesday, Thursday. Not sure for Saturday, Sunday yet. Still got to figure those out. And I'm kind of intrigued by the Necrodancer game, so I might, maybe that will pop up somewhere. I don't know. Don't forget the Hollow Up. Yeah, I'll definitely look that up. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for being awesome. Thank you as well. Who likes pasta? Me. I'm Mr. Italian. Yeah. Thanks again. If you're looking for something else to watch tonight, all that I know of off the top of my head is that Cashew is doing an Uma Musume watch-along at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, an hour and a half from right now. So if you want to watch Uma, and it's free on YouTube, you could go watch that with him at 7. I probably won't be able to, which is too bad because I still haven't seen it and I want to, but I hope those of you who watch it have a good time. But until then, thank you again for coming. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and hopefully I see you on some streams this coming week. Until then, bye-bye.